What's going on, everybody? You like that jersey? We'll get to that in a second. Happy Monday, everybody.
Thanks.
Welcome to 52 Topics with Frank Fiordilino for our weekly, every week, Monday, 7 o'clock. This is where you'll find us. Frank, what's going on, man?
Good. What's up with you, my man?
Chilling. Dominic Calandra, what's going on? You know what? Dominic Calandra in the house. Gaslight Studios, my man. Peter Rubino, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for all the comments. Pat Dorr, what's going on, man? How are you? Jojo Christmas, everybody's coming in. Please hit the like on the way in. Please, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Santorini Lobaza, what's going on?
I'm looking at everybody on the screen. Hold on, I want to say hi to everybody. Go ahead, keep going.
Rosie Mazika, what's going on? The great, the powerful, the amazing, the number one moderator in all the history of YouTube, Ro G. Happy Monday, Ro. Matt, you're early today. You're not late. What's going on? KCD, Fido de Benedetto. What's going on, buddy? Cindy Birch, good to see you before Manny's chat. Hope you're doing well. Armand D in the place to be. What's going on? BTF Phoenix, Ni Hao Ma, to the great BTF Phoenix. Timothy O'Reilly hitting us off with a 2-spot right off the bat. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
All right, my turn, right? Matt Vito, Cindy, Amin, Mustache, a.k.a. Mustache Pete, BTF Phoenix. Timmy, thank you, man. Cindy and the lovely Robo. Now we got Mr. Steve. Welcome, Mr. Steve.
We'll get everybody.
Hey, so, yo.
SPK, salt, pepper, ketchup. What's going on? I'm a pepper ketchup kind of guy. I skip the salt on the bacon, egg, and cheese. I think it's enough salt. But I get it.
Yeah, well, if you don't smoke, you smoke cigarettes? Huh? You smoke cigarettes?
No, I used to.
Yeah, you're not gonna want more salt than that. I used to smoke.
Yeah. No, me too. Nicotine's a hell of a drug. Caffeine and nicotine, my favorite drugs. Skippy, what's going on? Jojo Christmas, what's going on? So, Scott H, my man, what's going on? So, Malavita Proletarian, what's going on, my man? So I was on eBay today, Frank. 52 people in the chat. That's a good number, but let's get it higher. Hit the like, please. So I was on eBay today, Frank.
Come to Detroit, Frank. Let's have a coffee for sure. I just bought an espresso machine today. One of those little ones, nothing big. I don't have that kind of loot, but I only need one, and I'm trying to fuck with it, but already I'm having pop. First fucking day. It's unbelievable. I can't get I got it for the espresso, but I think it's got to warm up a while before the steamer comes on. It's one of them where you put the water in the back.
SPK says he prefers Coke over caffeine. All right. Okay. Peter Rubino, thank you for all the comments, Peter. I appreciate you catching up. He's been watching our whole library thus far. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it so much. So Frank and everybody in the chat, I was on eBay today. I'm always on eBay. I'm looking for all types of ephemera, matchbooks, old newspapers, anything, mob, organized crime shit, FBI wanted fucking flyers. I'm always looking for crazy shit. So I come across this today on eBay. A Sammy Gravano number 19, Bull 19, at it again, signed jersey. There he is, Bo.
He wanted it for another. He wanted number 19 jersey. That's just whatever. I don't even want to get to that.
Obviously, he used to have the number 19 license plate, Bull 19, on his website. The shirts for sale. I wish I bought one. It would have been a freaky piece of memorabilia because he doesn't sell them anymore. And obviously, 19 implies what? Right. Everybody knows what 19 implies. So I guess. So yeah.
99.
So I guess somebody thought it was a good idea to get a Gravano 19 jersey and have Sammy sign it. If you guys go to eBay right now, this jersey could be yours for the low price of $750. No CODs available. I don't know who's selling it. I don't know if it's a fan or a secondary guy. I don't know if it's directly from Sammy. But Sammy signed. He said, Bo, I got rid of that T-shirt, Bo, but I'll sign it for you, Bo. Don't sell it. $750 available now.
That pisses me off. What's up, Delgado? What's up, Frakes? What's up, Ed? Oh, another fat ball Italian.
Skateboard Piggy, $4.99. Thank you, Skateboard Piggy. I've been seeing these AI toy models all over the place.
Morbid shirt.
Joey Frakes. Oh my God, Mo.
Well, I should have went into the freaking
SPK.
Funeral.
Brett, I just drove down Tremont Avenue and who was crossing the street? Lou Perdue. Is that right, SPK? I got to go over there and try to find that dude. That's crazy. I got to go over there. It's not crazy. I mean, it's pretty typical, I guess, but I want to go find him. Skateboard Piggy, thank you so much for the $4.99. Appreciate you.
Skateboard.
That's that I just noticed. That's a troll. Okay. I didn't even realize what that was.
What's a troll?
That name. Corruption Connection. What's going on, buddy? How are you? Tony in the house. Make sure to subscribe to Corruption Connection.
My man, Nino. Tony.
Danny F.
Corruption Connection. Good stuff.
We'll talk about a couple of things. Hold on one second. Danny F. will answer that question in a minute. Anybody, thank you. Anybody who's got the questions, keep them coming. I'll star them, and we'll get to a question and answer segment for the show. Half Day of the Jackal, $10. Thank you, my man. Love the show, gents, but I could respectfully request you please stop the baloney. Stop the baloney? Oh, that's right. People
stop the baloney, huh? Who the hell knew you?
People pay for the videos now.
Stop the baloney.
Spartan Creed, I'm going to star your comment. We will get to your comment as well. Wow, he's 6'5". Jesus Christ, dude. That's crazy. Oh, wow.
Really?
That's scary.
Who's he talking about?
There's this homeless guy that got in trouble, like robbing a cemetery in the Bronx years back. And I did something on my channel about it.
You're probably going to invite him on our show.
Yes, this is right, Gaslight. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. Maybe not so much. I'll star that comment. What else? All right, so let's get to, well, AFBI, he's asking for this.
What's up, fellas? You hear me or not? What's going on, cuz?
Where is Rob Jean? Rob Jean, if you're out there, lots of love here.
What can you do to rob a cemetery? Only thing I can think of is cast iron. Yeah, I mean, urns, candles, mausoleum stuff, any metal, anything on the mausoleums, copper, brass, whatever it may be. So, Frank, we put out our latest episode of the Ridgewood, A True Story. Episode 2. If nobody caught that, make sure you catch it. Here's the thumbnail for it right there. Ridgewood, A True Story. Episode titled Roosevelt Avenue. Some people call it Roosevelt Avenue. It really doesn't matter to me how you call it, but Roosevelt Avenue, huh?
Yeah. Oh, Brian, I just think Brian. What's up, Brian? And shout out to, just before we start, I'm just forgetting Chris Capello. Shout out to Chris Capello if you're out there, and Boston guy out there, Boston Southie. Okay, now about the Roosevelt Avenue.
Yeah.
What do you guys thought of it? Any questions about it? I guess pretty much well, we talked about it in the video. But if you guys have any questions about it, let me know. Somebody asked if I ever was in Woodside. In passing, I used to go there on Sundays. There was a little Irish area about 3-4 blocks, and I used to go hit the bars there with a couple of my friends. This was around 98, 99, maybe. This is when a lot of my friends had just gotten locked up a couple of years before, and only a couple of us were left out there. But you'll see. It all comes in sequence.
Yeah, Roosevelt Avenue. I mean, as I said in that upload, I grew up right near Roosevelt Avenue, but in the Flushing side of Roosevelt Avenue, because it starts in Flushing. It ends up, well, whatever. It starts wherever you are, but starts for me in Flushing and goes all over Queens Boulevard. And so I spent many years in Flushing, Roosevelt. Actually, Frank, Roosevelt Avenue and Main Street, that intersection, I think it's the third busiest intersection in New York City. Behind Times Square and Herald Square comes Roosevelt and Main, right in downtown Flushing.
Yeah, that's Flushing, but that's we used to take the RKO Keith used to be right over there. That was a movie theater.
Of course, yeah.
So we used to take the B58 bus from my neighborhood right there by Fritzy's Club, not too far from Fritzy's camp stand. That was the first stop, and the last stop is at Roosevelt Avenue. So you were going typically from North Brooklyn all the way down to freaking Flushing. That bus covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, I was in RKO a few years back. It's been abandoned. Now they tore it down and whatever. They had to preserve some of it for, historical purposes. But yeah, we went in there when it was abandoned. Pretty fucking dangerous. And it was not a good idea, but
Wow.
interesting nonetheless.
It was a nice place. It was an older place.
Yeah.
The RKO Kita chains. Gaslight has a good question. I'm going to answer this one for you, Gaslight. This is your one question for you. Other than the topic, we'll do topics, but you gotta do, and we love you. You don't get me wrong. Have you ever seen or hear about? Yes, I have. That's Carmine's daughter. I have a great story. So she had a boyfriend, and Carmine, they used to go out to eat. We used to be the father, the boyfriend, and Nina. But Nina always liked Ali Persico a little bit, But he didn't know. Well, he had the feel. He's a good-looking dude. He had a lot of chicks, growing up. And one day, Baldo and Caesar come see him on 13th Avenue, and they go, Hal. That's how Baldo calls him, Hal, Hal. He talks broken at that. He goes, and they go, hey, Lilo wants to see you. He said, what the fuck did I do? He goes, am I in trouble? So they grab him, and they bring him to this nightclub. Carmine goes, hey, sit down. And he sits down. And he goes, and she's all giddy. He's there. The boyfriend's there. And he goes to the boyfriend. He goes, hey, see what the guys want. So he goes up to him, Lilo, what are you drinking? And he looks at him. This is from Ali's mouth. He looks at the son-in-law, the future son-in-law, and goes, you call me Carmine. My friends only call me Lilo.
Oh.
And he just fucking took the guy's wind out. Not only was he would have loved if Ali Boy and Nino would have got hooked up. That would have been one of those mob weddings, But he wasn't into it. And I don't want to put it down. I just leave it at that. She's very manly. That's why you hear those rumors. I don't know how true they were. They wanted to make her, but
that sounds great.
I don't know about that, but whatever. It's probably heard it from you fucking content creators that know everything.
Yeah. Timothy O'Reilly. Jackson Heights was nuts in the 80s, early 90s. It really improved when Giuliani was the mayor of New York City. I've heard. Yeah, it's gone downhill quite a bit. It is a gang haven as of late. A lot of South American gangs, a lot of open, like we refer to it like almost like a red light district. I know that they raided a couple of places over there recently, and they're trying to clean it up. But it got really bad. It got really bad. Shootings, stabbings, jumpings, all types of crazy shit. Brett, back in 2006 or 7, I was in the concrete laborers union. I worked at the very beginning of those buildings on the side of the Van Wyck, Roosevelt. Oh yeah, Skyview Park. Yeah. I'm very well aware of those buildings. That's cool, man. Yeah, there's going to be more of those. I mean, Flushing has its own fucking skyline at this point. It's pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Flushing with a sky. Yeah. New York City's huge. I mean, you can do a lot there. Forget about it. But what we got there? Well, fucking Roosevelt Avenue. I'm thinking about it. I caught myself a little bit. It was a fun spot. I mean, when we were kids, we'd hang out on Gates and Fresh Pond. We would just be there and like, what are we gonna do? And we'd look at each other and depending who we were with, and we'd say, hey, you want to go take a ride to Roosevelt? I said, fuck it, let's go. and we go there. But I wish Howie was here today. He has a good story of Roosevelt Avenue, which is public. We spoke about this on some other content creators about this story. And it's actually, so I don't want to take away from it, but I just say that, and I was lucky. I at all the times I was there, nobody ever got robbed. There was, they went in there and they robbed the joint. And this robbery team, while Howie was there, was being cased by the cops. So once they got up there, the cops were following right behind them, and it was just a fucking pure fucking mayhem, a jungle,
Yeah.
And I'll let if you're listening, Howie, you want to come up and tell the story, whatever. It's hilarious, and I remember this story. Howie told me this good 22 years ago. I go, remember when you told me that story about he goes, yeah. And you know when people don't bullshit, they remember things, and it was just like he told me, and I remembered it. You know, just do it, just how it
Crazy.
was.
2 cops just arrested and charged with shaking down the Roosevelt Avenue robbery. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, something shady going on there. Yeah. Danny F. How New York City residents get rent-controlled apartments. I read that Al Diarco had a rent-controlled apartment while he was acting boss. I think a lot of the times they're inherited, but I'm pretty sure they have to have been built between a certain time history in New York City. I don't know between what decades that is, and then if you're still occupying the apartment, then it stays that way. I mean, I don't exactly know the law. I don't know if you know the law, Frank, but
I was just being a little. Can you drop the link?
oh yeah, sure. You went to the 64 World's Fair. Oh shit, Scotty.
She's
That's
gonna
pretty
be
cool.
good, fellas.
That's
You
some
got a
shit
treat
that I
coming.
like too.
You got a treat coming.
Copy, and paste. All right, there is the link. Nowadays it's called affordable housing. Yeah, but it's depending on who you ask, how affordable.
So yeah, back to that's there's a lot of stories like that. That place was just a fucking it was a fun place. There was a lot of places like that though. It wasn't just the Roosevelt Avenue. I'm sorry, Roosevelt Avenue had the most. They used to give you like freaking business cards right
Yeah.
there. And once you found one, it was like you found gold. One of your friends come in and sometimes you have that asshole that don't want to tell you, what the other one's like they're his girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're the worst. They are the worst.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest dropping on the scene. Maybe he's got some Roosevelt Avenue something to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Howie Santos. Howie, what's going on, man?
What's up, Brett? What's up, Frank?
What's up, my man?
How's it going?
Good. Howie, what the hell are you doing on Roosevelt Avenue? You doing good stuff over there or bad stuff? What's going on over there?
Damn, that was a long time ago. But I got a good story. Yeah, I'm sorry, my phone just distracted me.
Yeah, me too. But it's a friend of ours. It's okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, let me just say hello to everybody in the chat. I hope all is well. Anyway, so let me tell this story. Obviously this is like way back, maybe in my 20s, and so we used to go. We had our own little brothel that was called Bonnie's, that all the guys from my area and Ridgewood too and Glendale used to go to, but that place only stayed open during the day. It was closed at night. So I forgot how we got put on to the ones on by Roosevelt Avenue over there. And there was this one place. I don't know if we referred to it by the street, but anyway, it was by Roosevelt Avenue. And one night I'm with my friend Neil, and we were running around doing a few things. We were young, and so I says, "Come on, let's go take a ride past Roosevelt. I want to get a quick blowjob." So he's like, "All right." So we go there. I said, "You gonna come up?" He says, "Nah." He says, I'll wait in the car." I says, "All right, I'll be right down. I'll be real quick. I'll grab the first girl I see, and I'll be down quick, right?" So I go up there. Boom! I grab the girl. I take off my Sergio Tacchini sweatsuit, and all of a sudden the fucking door comes flying open. And it's a guy with a 357 Magnum pointing it at my face. He says, "Don't look at me." So I turn around, and he he tells me to step out of the room and go into the living room. I walk out into the living room, and I see a whole bunch of girls there crying, and guys fucking look like they like they just saw God. And so then one of the guys throws my sweatsuit on my lap. So at that point, I realize that, they're not going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? And during that time where it was when, a lot of these gruesome murders where, you know, they would kill everyone in the place. The Colombians would kill whole families and shit like that. And there was a lot of Colombians by Roosevelt. So so now the doorbell rings, people are coming in, and as you hear them coming up the stairs, you hear bing, bang, boom, ah, ah, ah. You know, they're hitting them as they're coming in, telling them to get on the couch or whatever, right? And robbing them, right? So now the living room where you usually sit to wait is getting too crowded. So they moved us to another room, to one of the rooms where, you know, the girls take care of their business. So I put my sweatsuit on, and I'm in there, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I hope my friend Neil doesn't think I'm taking a long time and decides to come upstairs looking for me to rush me, because they'll go to work on him, you know, and he'll get
You don't want to
robbed.
walk in on that.
So
Yeah.
now, you know, I hear all kinds of fucking, yelling and girls crying, and there's guys fucking crying, oh, they're gonna kill us, you know. And I'm telling one guy, no, they're not. So I hear like loud fucking footsteps, like really like bing bang boom 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 boom. I hear fucking glass break, and as it turns out, right, these places usually had someone that worked there and answered the door for everyone. And the person that was working there that night had decided to go to the store to buy a couple of things. So when they came back, they opened up the door with the key, and they hear commotion going on upstairs, and they call the cops. So now, while I'm in the room, the commotion that I'm hearing is the cops coming running up the stairs, and these guys running through the apartment and jumping out of the second floor window. So so then that happens, right? The cops tell all of us, you know, to come downstairs, and I'm hanging out in front of the place, and I see I see a friend of mine that I grew up with. He became a cop. He works in that precinct. This kid named Dom Maglione. So he's like, Howie, what the fuck are you doing here? What do you think I'm
What do you
doing
think, motherfucker? Yeah, I ain't robbing the place.
Yeah. So I says, see if you can get my jewelry back, you know, because they took my jewelry. So I remember I had a herringbone chain. That's how long ago that was. I don't even know if people wear herringbones anymore.
They were nice.
So yeah, so he says, yeah, I'll see what I can do. So they ask everyone to go back to the precinct so they can question them, you know. So one guy got caught. He hurt himself when he landed out the window, and so I go to the police station. Right, I just want my jewelry back. You know, I'm not gonna press charges on anyone. And this fucking cop, my friend wasn't there, and this cop, he's like, really nasty. He says, you just have a seat over there. What did the guys look like? I was like, I don't know. I just want my jewelry. He says, you have a seat over there, like really fucking nasty, you know. And so, and everyone's sitting there like, he got pissed because he knew I wasn't gonna answer his question. So when he went to the next room, I don't know, when I lost eyesight of him, I just fucking got up and I walked out of the place. And my friend Neil was waiting for me outside. I hopped in the car and we left. So as it turns out, later on, we find out that one of the guys had a fake gun. That 357 was really
Wow.
was really a plastic 357 because it broke when they jumped out the window. I wish I would have known. But then again, maybe one of the other guys had a real gun. Who knows?
Real gun, yeah.
But yeah, that was a funny story.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, a lot. We had a lot of laughs over that one.
Well, let me ask, Howie. I mean, I know you're a tough guy, especially back then you running the streets. But were you a little shook or?
Yeah.
Like shook. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I don't know. It happened so fast. Like like these fucking dogs are making a lot of noise outside. Yeah, like I didn't really have time to think,
Okay.
and I was startled, of course, but when for some reason when the guy gave me back my clothes, I like relaxed because I knew it was like, all
You
right,
know.
they're just
Yeah.
robbing the place and that's it. Why
Yeah.
would they give me my clothes back if they're gonna kill me?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely was startled. Yeah.
I wanna show everybody a video. This is a video from a channel, Strolling the City. This is from a year ago, as far as what was going on Roosevelt Avenue, and it got really fucking bad. So, just for anyone for reference, I'm gonna put this video on from YouTube. You guys can kind of see what's going on. I mean, the first thing you're gonna see is a bunch of women lined up ready to take somebody upstairs. So you guys can check this out right here. So right here on the left, you see all these ladies lined up, ready to take somebody by the hand. See, there's a bunch of them. There's more. There's
Damn.
more. There's a bunch more. You see, they go running when the camera. They're running.
Yeah.
That's what they do now.
It's out in the open, man. It's crazy.
Not back when we were kids.
No, this is like
Nah.
open sex market.
Look, they even have the bed out there if you want to do that. You want to do it out in the open, you have the bed.
Yeah, so that's Roosevelt Avenue, everybody.
Yeah. Back.
Look at that. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I mean, they cleaned it up a little bit. Aside from that, really good food over there, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever come to New York.
Oh yeah. No, the food is pretty good at Roosevelt Avenue, and Howie and myself had a lot of the old Sicilian guys that we knew, Italian guys. They did not necessarily have to be gangsters. They used to love going to Roosevelt Avenue, get away from their wives.
Yeah.
And we're not going to mention those names, but they enjoyed it.
I don't well, like I don't remember it looking like that when I was a kid. Definitely, all the girls, they were usually in, houses,
Yeah.
and the people used to drop, pass out these cards to where you can go,
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really even look like that 5 years ago. I mean, there was always a couple, but it got really bad.
Yeah, like the only thing you saw out in the street, like back during our days, is like the girly boys, like
It's funny you say that because I went there about 2 years ago, Howie. I went with a friend of mine, and he was driving, and I took him there for the first time. He's driving, and all of a sudden he sees a bunch of what look like Asian lady boys. And he goes, oh, there they go. And he just wanted to park there, like right in the middle of the street. I go, where the fuck you going, bro? They say, fuck it. Come on, keep going. He's from another state. And he kept going after he goes, and for a second of all, I go, I didn't think those were chicks. They look like Asian lady boys.
Howie, I got a comment from somebody, Peter Rubino, one of our subscribers. He says, Howie, I'm not sure if you remember me. I used to get my haircut next door to Bobby, and I'd hang around sometimes. My niece Mima dated Vito Love's brother-in-law, Paulie Love. Peter Rubino.
Peter and Vito Love's brother-in-law. Did Vito Love wind up marrying that girl?
That one girl? I don't know.
Yeah, didn't that one girl that he had problems with in the beginning, wasn't her brother's name Paulie?
Yeah. But I don't know if they got married. Listen, I left what? You were there longer than I was.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the kid Paulie, I know Vito had this childhood girlfriend.
Yes.
And there was problems over her. And let me put this phone on silent. People keep texting me.
What's up, Chris Archula? How you doing,
so so this girl, I don't remember what her name was, but her brother Paulie used to come hang out by the cafe. So but the name Mima sounds familiar, and obviously I definitely do know the barbershop next door to Bobby's, right, Frank?
Yeah, that's Hotel. That's his name.
Yeah.
Hotel. I
Yeah,
found.
he said,
Did I send you oh man, I should have shit. Did I send you a text of that guy dancing at the wedding?
Yeah.
That guy looked just like Hotel.
Yeah, I sent you back a laughing emoji
Yeah,
later
yeah.
on
Fucking,
I woke up. Wait, that guy made a comment about Cascin. Could you?
yeah,
put
he
that
said
back
he
up?
used to talk to Cassim, the Albanian.
Yeah, I remember Kaz. Yeah.
I remember Kaz. He was nice. Bosnian, I think he was. Bosnian, Albanian, Bosnian Muslim. He used to come. He was a waiter or something. Really nice guy.
Yeah. Well, did you? I'm asking this guy here. Well, did you see me around? I mean, do you know me from over
Yeah,
there?
he said that you guys said hello a couple times. I think he said.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to. And you would, if he remembers those people, he definitely.
Yeah. What story did your niece tell you?
My niece used to tell me all the stories. Yeah. Let's
Who's
hear
his
it.
niece? Mima?
Yeah,
I
that sounds familiar. Who was Mima's father? You said it's your niece. Oh, you don't want to say?
Who, me?
No, the guy.
Oh, the guy. Oh, Peter Rubino. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if he writes back. I'm sure he will.
Well, he's legit. He was the guy last week who was saying that.
Yeah.
He knows my brother makes a fucking rice balls, and I'm like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
That could be like a password, rice ball. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
rice
remember.
ball.
I remember when I used to take when Vito Love and Nikki Shakes were younger. I used to take them to Bonnie's. You ever been to Bonnie's, Frank?
One time I went there with a friend of mine that it was a daytime, like you said.
Yeah.
He was on break from work and he took a ride there. The general. I go, how the fuck can you go to take a break? You work with food. You're gonna go get late and then go back to fucking work. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's a dirty. It just got a hookah house is a dirty. When you go there, they're not dirty and just looking at them, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
this place here was kept well. I mean,
Yeah.
The place was there. I mean, I want to say, I don't know when it closed down, but I would say it was there for like fucking 30, 40 years.
No, I've been there. It was the last house on the dead end.
Yeah, and they did change. I guess they got raided a couple times, and they did change the spots every once in a while. But still saying, everybody would find out where the new spot was.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I had a lot of friends of mine. They used to be like my friends that owned the junkyards. They used to stop down their way back home from work and shit like that. But it was just part of the routine.
I went to another one in that area at night. Now, probably not the same owners, and I remember it well because we took somebody took me there because we took Vito there, homeboy's brother.
Okay. Yeah.
What, no good? He must have fucking he loved it. He kind of like addicted. He used to hint to me sometimes. Let's go over there again. I go, chill out.
Like I said, the place had to change locations a bunch of times. So it may have seemed like a different place or a new place, but it was the same people,
Yeah.
If it was down in that East New York area by, like the original spot was right at the end of the Interborough Parkway, the Jackie Robinson, where you have all that main train depot and
It's like Pennsylvania Avenue or something.
Yeah, it's Jamaica and the Interborough beginning or end, whatever you want to call it. But it was in East New York.
That's East New York, no?
Yeah, New York, yeah.
That's East New York.
Yeah. But no, I didn't get the jewelry back. I didn't want to hang around and have this cop, busting my balls because I was telling him I didn't recognize anybody.
Howie Frank from the Bronx. Me and my friends would go to the Hua houses by Junction Boulevard. Yeah, well, that would be that area. I mean, that's Rose. That's a 7 line.
Junction Boulevard. Yeah, I think that was the one. I think that might have been where the one was where I went to. Also, Junction. Yeah.
Shout out to Carmine and Pete. They're out there.
Common sense. What's going on?
I said hookers.
Yeah, I had to clean up Junction Boulevard when I had community service on the 7 train. That was not fun. That sucked. What else?
And you had them scale hookers. You couldn't touch something like that. You know, God forbid. I mean, you know, the ones that hit rock bottom on Flushing Avenue. Fucking them cheap zips used to go there. Freaking the ones after work in construction, you catch them and go, "What the fuck you doing?"
Yeah, we had a hooker stroll here. We had a famous hooker stroll in Flushing on Farrington Street by this. I don't know if you guys know, on the side of the Whitestone Express, it was like we used to call it the Pathmark Shopping Center, where the arcade used to be. Amore Pizza. There was a famous hooker stroll over there, and we had Big Bird. She was like a 6'4", 120-pound crackhead prostitute.
It was fucking Ralphie, man. He was a piece of work, and he used to take us there when we were kids at Flushing Avenue, and he used to go with them paint guns. I mean, them motherfuckers got, you know, they were in bad shape to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess
I left basketball gym with the fucking thing.
Some of them girls were fucking tore up from the floor.
Yeah, and he be shooting them with the fucking paint guns, and they think they really got shot because it's red.
SPK, community service. Sounds like someone got grabbed for graffiti. That's exactly why I got arrested for graffiti. And I actually got set up for that by a fucking stupid cop. But then later on, bringing it back to prostitutes, the cop that arrested me got arrested later for picking up a prostitute in the Bronx. So that's fun stuff.
The Bronx had that spot, Hunts Point, boy. They were tore up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same thing like Flushing Avenue, poor girls. So fucking, I used to feel bad for them though, because you know, at the end of the day, you know, they're like ready to die. They're somebody's kid, you know what I mean? That's
it was during the crack epidemic, you know.
It was.
Yeah.
Then you get this fucking piece of work. Well, we'll talk about him.
Well, they had that HBO document, Hookers at the Point. That was Hunts Point.
Yeah.
That was I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, maybe it came out.
Let me go fucking take care of this fucking
thing. You know how many low lives you know, how many of these girls had to, you know, service these low lives because, you know, they just choice. That's when I think about it now, it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, it's bad, especially those ones that are down and out. I mean, because the clientele is, you know, it's just as down and out, probably, you know, $5 or $10 or whatever.
Fucking dirty motherfuckers, you know. God, I could just imagine. You know, that's what was, you know, what was good about like the place Bonnie's and some of the places in Roosevelt. You know, they were maintained. You know, they were like the place Bonnie's. You know, was set up with furniture and like a waiting area, and you know, there was a lady that usually worked there, and you know, they would rotate, you know, different girls every week, and you know, they would ask guys, you know, like to comment on, you know, how was the girl and stuff like that. So this way, like in the future, like when we used to go there, she used to give us the lowdown on all the girls, which one gave the best blowjob. You know, excuse the way I'm talking to any of the females in the chat. I'm just explaining how it was. But yeah, you know, and you know, boys will be boys, and you know, obviously we got corrupted by the older guys, and then the younger guys got corrupted by us.
Yeah. Wow, it's funny. We got about 3 people in this chat right now who remember Big Bird, so that's pretty cool.
Big Bird, I don't.
Flushing legend, Big Bird. Pat Cogney's got a question for you. He says last week on Gunsmoke, Howie questioned Mikey Scar's truthfulness regarding his claim that he refused the consigliere position in the Gambino administration.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I questioned his truthfulness. Yeah, I find it his excuses a little bit far-fetched, you know. I mean, he had an excuse for everything, you know. He said he didn't want to work in an administration with an ex-drug dealer. I mean, the fucking Gotti family, they were all drug dealers back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, and
exported the biggest drug dealer in the family, Patsy Conti. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I just, and then, you know, Jojo Carrazzo's been the consigliere since Frank Locascio got, taken in. So, I don't know, what is he saying? Is he saying that JoJo was never consigliere and he only got the position because he turned them down?
Yeah.
I just don't believe it.
According to what Pat just said he replied that JoJo was on committee, not consigliere, and just a soldier.
What, in 1998, 99, what he's talking about?
Yeah, what year are you speaking of, Cogni?
Well, Scars is talking about the years when Junior went to prison.
Okay.
So that was like in what, 99?
He said he didn't want to be. He said he didn't want to be in the administration under Pete Gotti.
Right. Yeah, that's a fucking dumb excuse too.
Huh.
Right? Why? Why wouldn't you want to be on the administration at all? That's more money, and you can get more opportunities. Pete Gotti starts doing a bad job, and you're doing a good job. Maybe you'll be the boss next.
Right.
At that point, you didn't know what was going to happen in the future. Like these guys, they work all their lives. That's what their goal is, to become a soldier, to become a captain, and then to become part of the administration.
Right. Right.
You finally get the opportunity, and then you say you turned it down for whatever reasons that don't make any. If you would have said, "Oh, I turned it down because I saw the writing on the wall," and I didn't want to become a target, I would have accepted that excuse better than the excuses that you gave. And Jojo Carrazzo has been consigliere at one, since 1992.
Really?
And he did go to prison for 3 years and like 95, I believe, around that time. And then he had his supervised release. So if you're saying like you were going to be acting, until he finished his paper or whatever, like it's just confusing to me, and during that time, JoJo absolutely wasn't a soldier. At the very least, if he wasn't consigliere while he was locked up, he was still a captain. I just thought, plus they had the power back then, the Carrazzos. So I don't know. I really don't know. I would have to sit down and talk to this guy and listen to what he has to say in order for me to be able to understand what he's saying, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Frank. No, I'm
agreeing with totally. And I'll be real quick. I don't want to interrupt you. There's guys, they don't become captains, and then not want to go to the next level. Guys that stay in one level, they're usually members. They're like, money guys that don't force the issue unless they tell them they have to. They got to. There's no way about it. But mostly guys that are captains, and are there for a while, and he seems like somebody who like that position. Their next step is to want to be in that top 3. I would say. I could be wrong.
And there's more money involved when you're part of the
that's
top
why.
3.
Yeah.
According to Bobby Vinay's, he told me this, personally, that the boss, the consigliere, and the underboss, they split the money. And then he, as he's telling the story, he's saying that it was John Sr.'s wishes. And so what'd you do? You turned down John Sr.? You told him you didn't want to do it?
Yeah.
You go to a cemetery, but dead, but alive, you would tell him no.
David Price says Mikey says he had construction rackets and didn't want the higher profile.
Yeah, but Mikey Scars had the construction rackets that the Gambino family gave him. He took over the construction rackets from Sammy the Bull. Those construction rackets belong to the Gambino family, not to Mikey Scars. Yeah, but now, whatever he's saying from like now it sound he didn't say that at the time when he made up those other excuses. Now he's making more excuses on top of the excuses he already made. Um, I don't I don't believe he was offered any of those positions. I that's just my opinion. Uh,
That's respected on.
well, what did they say, Jojo? What?
That was Common
Jojo?
Sense says Jojo was consigliere in 92. He replaced Frankie Loke, and Scars claimed that it was in 97, 98. I believe he said he turned the position down, which would have came from senior directly. Why would he do that?
Right. It just doesn't make sense at all. Like, I mean, it's not a big deal if it's almost like he wasn't happy with just being considered a former Gambino captain. Like he had to build himself up to be like, well, I could have been a part of the administration, but I turned it down. Like nobody's gonna look at you any less. If you weren't offered any of those positions, just say, it just didn't happen. Whatever. I don't know. I can't. I don't. I'm not saying I don't dislike the guy. I don't know. I don't know him. But my street sense is tingling. Like I like there's some things don't add up there. Like especially his comments about Jojo Carrazzo.
Oh, what did he say?
He said that he was. Then he had to. He says that isn't it ironic? Like basically, like the guy that I gave up the position to, meaning that he turned down consigliere, and Jojo became consigliere, was the guy who took all of my earnings away. But so he's trying to say that Jojo only became consigliere because he turned down the spot. But meanwhile, Jojo's been consigliere since Frankie Loke. So unless I heard it wrong or it just doesn't make sense. And
Attilio Mazanga, he says, why would you want to be an advisor to a Dunsky who doesn't listen? But that could kind of work both ways. If you're a smart fucking Machiavellian motherfucker, I mean, you could put that to your advantage. Oh, I got this dope as the boss. I'll fucking sway him to do
all right. So
certain things.
So what would you rather be? A consigliere under a Dunsky or a captain under a Dunsky?
That's right. I mean, if you think he's a Dunsky, then you could probably manipulate him if you're smart enough, or at least try to get his ear and manipulate him.
Like regardless of what position you're in, Pete becomes boss. He's your boss regardless what position you're in. So like, what are you saying? Like Pete can't boss you around when you're captain? So you didn't want to take an administrative position because he'd be bossing you around more often or something. But it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you would have to like grow up in that life to understand how big these promotions are for people to have. And you're dealing with guys that have egos as big as the world. You know what I'm saying? And they spend all their lives stabbing each other in the back to get to these spots, to just fucking turn it down. And you're basically telling the guy that you say you loved more than anything, he's asking you to take the position and you're telling him no. And then what reason could you have possibly given Senior that you didn't take the position? Because the guy that was passing the messages was Pete. What were you going to tell Pete Gotti to tell John Senior that no, Scars didn't want it because he thinks I'm a fucking idiot? So now you turn down the position. So now how are you going to get the message to John Senior? Why?
Yeah. AFBI 1999. Thank you, buddy. Great. He says, great show, awesome stories. You just can't get on Netflix or the stepdaughter of someone. Fucking guy.
I know.
If Carmine wants to grab the link,
thank you.
We can explain it a little bit better.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I don't know if he's still here.
I'm sure there's things that I'm forgetting. There's definitely things that I'm forgetting, and he's got a little bit better memory than I do. but we had a
Yeah,
discussion.
he breaks
about
out.
this.
Comments a friend to the show.
Have a good day,
friend.
Peter. Have a good night, Peter. See you, buddy.
He knows how to break these things as good as well. You know, better. He's. I think he went to school. Well, he went to school for law, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who the hell?
Well,
Is
you know, and
Very sharp, very smart.
It's nothing personal to Mikey because I don't know him and he doesn't know me. Okay, I'm just speaking on a guy who made a statement about something in the life that I know a little something about, regardless of what my if I was just an associate or whatnot. That was only because of my last name. But believe me, I was rubbing shoulders with the same guys that he was rubbing shoulders with. Maybe not exactly the same, but guys with the same caliber.
Sit down with Jeff Nadeau. What's up, Jeff? Jeff, sorry to cut you off. Jeff has something he wants to say to you, Howie. He says, Howie, you made a comment recently that I used the promote button, I guess meaning paying Google to promote videos, and told others about using it. He says he never used the promote button. He says he just wants to make that clear.
Well, I'll make this clear, okay? I believe it was Eric Force, Lee Cole. They all mentioned your name involving with that. And I don't know exactly how the promote button works, but it's not buying subscribers, and it's not doing anything where you can get your channel knocked down for. And do me a favor, don't make no fucking comments.
I know what it does. I'm particularly not a fan of it myself. I mean, you could use it. I think you could use it. Like,
make it clear or not. To be honest.
Say again.
I can give a fuck if Jeff wants to make it clear or not.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to read his comment to you.
No. I'm not. Yeah, of course. Put his comment up.
Yeah,
there.
the promote thing. I think it's good. Maybe do it for a couple of videos or something you really want to push out there. But I mean, listen, when you look at and this is where I agree with Jeff. I mean, when you look at Dominic Cicali's channel and he's got 115,000 subscribers and he's got 4,000 views on a video, it looks kind of fucking silly. It's a little crazy.
Hold on.
What? Say that again.
I said when you. Go ahead.
No, what were you saying, Frank? Good.
Why are you coming here and calling somebody on my panel a prick? Do I do that to you?
Who called who a prick?
Howie, you're a prick as usual.
Oh, that's what Jeff Nadeau said?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll come by and stick a cigar up your ass one day.
Oh my God. All right. Comment says drop the link. I'll drop the link for anybody who wants to fucking.
Don't do it here. Don't do it here. Don't.
What were you saying? Brad?
No, I was just saying that one thing I do agree with what Jeff was saying is when you abuse the promotion button, your channel kind of ends up looking stupid. Like maybe some people don't see it or whatever, but when you have 100, I'm just saying when you have 115,000 subscribers and you get 4,000 views on your videos, it looks fucking weird. There's something off with that. So I think there's a way to do it in good taste, and there's a way to fucking abuse it.
Okay, let me I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but Brett, let me just explain to you a couple things. Maybe you'll change your mind. Maybe, you'll still
sure
same stance, but
sure.
You can pay more or less. You
can
pay more money for more exposure, and the way I understood it as Cicali paid for exposure in 5 different countries. So basically, you pick out the videos you want Google to promote, right? You pay whatever it is, $25, $100, $200, probably get you more, the more money you pay, right?
Right.
And your video gets put like ahead of the line of the algorithm in all of these countries, and people see your video, and if they hit your they're not being forced to hit your subscribe button. That's a legitimate.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
So now that's the reason why you'll see these big jumps, because your video just got exposed to a million people that it would normally never have been exposed to.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I know what you're saying, and I think it translates well with the shorts. But at the same time, I think it's just good visual optics when people see that you have 100,000 subscribers. But when you really start looking at the chat, and I'm not getting on Dom Cicali, I don't care what he does. He's fine with me. I really don't care. But if he has 115,000 subscribers and is regular videos are only getting 4,000 views. He's basically paying for fake engagement because there is no engagement. It's just visually.
No. But wait, it's still a subscription. You know how many? I have about fucking 200-300 channels I'm subscribed to. I watch maybe 3.
Yeah.
You know, and what I'm okay. So now let's say he got 1 million subscribers, right? But only 2 of them watched another video. He still got a fucking 1 million views off of those.
I know it looks good. Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not it. You know, anything you do in life, you need commercials to promote your product. You know, if they decide that whether or not they like your product or not, that's up to them. You know, I'm sure there's going to be maybe like 90% of the people that do originally click on subscription that might not watch another video, or they might watch one more or search through the channel and decide, well, you know, I'm not going to watch, you know, I don't like the rest of the videos. I just like this one. You know, of course, you're going to put your best video forward to attract the people to come subscribe. But at the very minimum, you're getting these people's attention to look at your channel, to make that decision, to decide whether or not they want to continue watching your channel. So, you know, if you're paying thousands of dollars and you're not getting a return to cover those thousands of dollars, then, you know, you're gonna. I would suggest you don't spend that much money anymore because you're not getting a return from it.
Yeah. But he definitely spent a lot because the minimum, you know, for a good impact, because I've looked into it in the past. I mean, you could put $50 on a promotion, but the minimum that they suggest is $200 when you look at it.
Right. Okay. Right. Like you see how you guys try to get yourselves involved into the algorithm, right?
Right.
Well, this is just a way of paying to have your video put in the algorithm.
In other countries. Oh yeah.
Right. Google. You know, like nobody's saying here's $50, hit my subscription button. Mm-hmm. These people are coming across these videos and subscribing to them. It's a real subscription. It's not a fake one.
No, I know. No, I'm not saying it's not real. I mean, I know it's real. It's just how many of these people, I mean, judging on Sakali's channel, it doesn't seem that many of these people are even watching his content. Well, so it just looks cool visually is my point. It just looks cool. Look at me. I look cool. I got 115,000 subscribers. Fucking 5%, if that, are even watching my shit. I mean, like I said, I mean, there's pluses and minuses. I agree with some of what you're saying.
So then basically what you're saying is that, you know, people hit the subscription button and then just never watch his channel.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But how many times does that happen normally if a person pays for advertisement or not? You know, like you put out a short, you know, not every person that's going to subscribe to your short, naturally is going to continue watching all your shows.
Right. I mean, listen, it definitely opens you up to more exposure and getting more views. But I guess the battle is actually cashing in on those subs and like convincing them to watch it.
Even like right now, right? You know, how many people you got watching right now?
We got 148.
148, right? You got 20-something hundred subscribers, right?
We got like 2,400 or something like that.
Yeah, you know, the amount of people that are actually going to be watching your lives is going to be way, way lower than your subscription.
Oh, of course, yeah.
count.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like as far as like your video views, I don't know. Obviously after like a few days you'll have a couple thousand or whatever it may be.
Right.
Or more. But I understand what you're saying. Like, so
because like I'll show you right now, Howie. Like Dominic Sakali has 137,000 subscribers. All he does is live streams. So, he streamed, I don't know, 4 days ago, 1.4 thousand views. 3 days ago, 4.3 thousand views. 5 days ago, 2.7. These are Frank Fiordilino and NYC Crime Spot numbers.
Right. So, yeah. Well, then he's wasting his money. But
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
the people that subscribed did subscribe. It's not a fake subscription.
No. I don't think it's fake. No, it's not fake. No, it's not fake.
Now we have a lot of other people.
We have common sense on. Let me bring him in. No, listen, there's pluses and minuses. I mean, I think you make some good points. I just think that you could use it tastefully, and then you could fucking abuse it. And I think somebody like
Well,
Segali
I
has
mean,
completely abused it.
how could you say someone's abusing something if they're putting up their money to pay for the exposure? You know, that's just my opinion, Jeff.
I get it. I get it.
Brett,
I don't think his views are
just
matching his.
I just don't think there's really, if he doesn't care about a few $100 here and there, what is
Oh yeah, of course, he's fucking loaded as far as I can tell.
You know, what if you get some knucklehead that's currently trending, and you know he asks him to do an interview or something, and the guy sees he's got 130,000 views, and he says, "Oh yeah, I mean, I'm going to do an interview on his show." It seems like he's got a lot of people.
For sure, yeah, visually, definitely, yeah.
They're not going to check your analytics before they go on. Not
Right,
most of them. Some will.
No, you're right. I mean, that is true. What's up, Common Sense?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What do you think? What do you think about this Common Sense? Can you expand on this comment? What's your opinion on it?
First, let's touch on the Mikey Scars.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
In regards to what first?
Just here on the fucking chat. He's probably on the fucking phone with RJ. You're talking about Mike. Put me on your show. 1 minute he's fucking hating on everybody. He's a little motherfucker. He talks about everybody. He goes back and fucking forth. And then he wants to talk and this and that. I gave that motherfucker half of his banana fucking content.
All right. I mean, we don't have
free.
Fine.
No. No, you don't come here talking. Fuck him. Fuck him and the army he came in there with.
Hey, he decided to jump on your show and make a comment.
I know, yeah, exactly. I don't go up to his fucking show and do that. He owes me a fucking apology. Other than that, he can go fuck himself. Fuck
you know,
him.
if he wanted to tell me that he never participated in any of that stuff that other people have told me he participated in, why didn't he jump on Gunsmoke show when we were talking about it?
Oh, or he could have addressed the people that told him that he was doing that.
Right.
Well, fuck him. Let's go. Come on, let's talk about the show. Sorry about that, guys.
What do you got on your mind, Carmen? I just know you can elaborate more on the Mikey Scars situation better than I can.
And what in regards to the claims he was making about the consigliere position or whatever?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't understand. I was trying to narrow down the time frame, but I guess you said that he was claiming it was around 97, 98 when Junior caught the 7-year bid he got.
Right.
And I guess they had to shuffle around people on the street, right?
That was another excuse he made. He said he didn't want to be Junior's boss.
Right, which doesn't make any sense because if he was the acting boss when he went in, what's he getting knocked down to? You know? I don't understand that. How would he be his boss?
Right. Well, Junior I believe he got knocked down to either captain and to soldier at one time. I don't know the exact position, but when Junior went in, he was no longer acting boss. Pete became the boss.
According to Junior, he got shelved for life by the father. So how come Mikey Scars was worried about that? You know?
Yeah.
This just goes to show you how much the guy will lie because he's basically calling Junior a liar now with that comment. Because Junior's story was that he got shelved for life by the father. So Mikey has a position that he was in. He would have had to known that, right?
Right.
So he's calling him a liar, no?
Yeah, well, he did call him a liar. He said that Junior did he used the defense of the withdrawal defense and, basically said that, it wasn't true.
Right. Which is not what he said when he did the review of the interview he did on Patrick Bet-David, no?
Right.
So what I'm basically saying is that, I thought for the most part he seems to come off as one of the more, credible in some aspects, but it's obvious to me at this point he's kind of got an agenda and it just seems self-serving when he's making comments like that because I don't understand, what side of the coin the guy's really on,
Right. And all I'm saying is, listen, I don't know the guy personally. And
no, me either. I don't either.
I
met him once. He came off as a really nice guy. I mean,
yeah, he seems all right,
Yeah, listen,
I didn't get into this.
a lot of people come off as nice guys in that.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day, don't get me wrong. I really have no horse in the race, and I'll tell you why. Because I wasn't a Gambino guy, but I mean the common sense stuff, like no pun intended. I mean, the stuff that makes sense. Yeah, you guys got a good fucking argument. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
that's all. That's all we're
yeah,
saying is it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What he says doesn't make sense. You know,
I
it just
agree.
doesn't sound.
I
It
agree.
doesn't sound. It doesn't ring true to me. You know, it sounds like
No.
all kinds of made
Well,
up
and
excuses on
here
why. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying, well, here's the one issue is that, Howie was very close with Joseph Carrazzo, for people that don't know. And I'm pretty sure if anybody, could tell you who was in what position and what was going on exactly, it would be Howie to tell you that based on other, obviously court documents and transcripts and convictions and stuff that told you what position these people were in. And in 1992, Jojo Carrazzo took over for, I believe, Frankie Loca, the consigliere position. I believe Sammy was underboss at that time, correct?
Right.
So when JoJo takes over, when was he no longer, according to them, in the consigliere position? Somebody would have been acting, because I think he did what, 3 years in like the mid '90s, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what date he came home at? Because the only way that
I
it would
don't.
even be, okay.
I don't remember exactly what date he came home at, but it was right before I was going away on my bid. I picked him
Uh,
up from the halfway house a couple of times, and
yeah.
I was and I believe it was in '97 he got to the halfway house. '97 because I had just gotten a '97 Lincoln Continental. Yep.
Okay,
What's up?
so
Go ahead. My bad.
no, so at that point, because Mikey Scars narrows it down by basically saying that Junior had just got sent away on that bid that he caught, right? So then JoJo would have been either in the halfway house or home by the time Mikey Scars was saying that he was offered the consigliere position by the father. But how would JoJo wound up getting handed it by him when he was already in that position before? I don't understand that. That's the part that makes no sense. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So basically, you're saying JoJo was consigliere. He
Right.
came home. He came home in '97, and so you're saying that after '97 he wasn't consigliere anymore. Is what you're saying?
Well, that's the only possible way. Why would they need to fill a position for a guy that's home now?
Right. And as we all know, JoJo Carrazzo was also consigliere during the 2000s. Like,
Right.
are you saying like there was a year or two where somebody was where JoJo wasn't consigliere and you were offered the spot? I don't know. I don't know exactly, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, yeah,
Why?
because he qualified it by saying he laughed and said later, and it's funny because JoJo then shelved him later after he gave him that position. Basically, he was the same
Yeah,
guy. He
right.
turns around and shelves him. So he's
Yeah, like
complaining, saying that the same guy I did a favor for turns around and takes all my money away and then shelves me when I get picked up on this pinch. Which
hmm.
that also doesn't make any sense either. I don't know if you brushed on that at all. Did you speak about that?
Yeah, I said that real pretty much that he said it was ironic that the guy that he basically that got the position because he passed it up was the guy who took away all his earnings.
Right. And my other question regarding that, maybe he can elaborate if he hears this, is that he had just come off of beating the Scores case and he gets re-indicted or whatever, right? He had the case down in Atlanta. He went to trial and he beat it. He gets picked back up on this case here, and he claims that at a visit, he was told by, I don't know if it was his ex-wife or his friend told his ex-wife, and she came in to visit and said something about a shelf, and he couldn't believe what he was hearing. And he claims that the family took away all of his Gambino family earnings and his legitimate earnings from his own personal stuff that wasn't Gambino family related, which I don't even know how you can do that. And two, that they then shelved him on top of it. And he said that he claimed he sent the message back out to the street to Pete Gotti and I guess JoJo that I don't remember dying and I don't remember getting life, basically threatening these guys that, he may come home one day and there's going to be a problem because of what they're doing to him while he's in there. But why would the guys want to put somebody in that position in a spot where they're more likely to cooperate and flip if you go and do that to the person? Why would you give them the fire, so to speak, to go and turn around and want to do that to you. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm curious as to hear the explanation to that, because why would they do that? I don't get it.
Yeah.
There's a
So
lot
now,
of scumbags in
so
there
now,
too.
so now you went. So now
What's
you
that,
went
Frank?
from.
There's a lot of scumbags out there too. Sometimes guys want to see guys flip so they can take their money or fucking just hate the people they're gonna be telling on. I've seen it. Like, I mean, you
Oh,
think
I'm sure it happens. I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, when you're in
I
there
get
among
it.
fucking all these cutthroats, and let's say a
Yeah.
Colombo guy, yeah.
Basically, in his story, he's saying that he turned down the consigliere position, and then he got the guy who got the
Yeah.
consigliere position shelved him and took away all his money. So what they do?
Yes.
Why did they do that? Why did they do that to you, Mikey?
Because they
You know, like, did you do something wrong?
That's
Or
what.
did they?
That's what I don't understand, because well, see, that's what I'm wondering. There might be more to the story here. Did he send that message out before that happened, and then they did that as a response? Is it in that exact order he's claiming, or did he say something to somebody and that got back to him, and this is how they responded?
Shout out to Mikey Y and my man Michael's out there. What's up, Michael? I gotta give you a call, my brother.
Mikey Y.
What up?
Yeah, Mikey. Yeah,
Mikey Y, the real Mikey Y.
real Mikey Y. The banana Mikey Y.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Gambino.
Yeah,
Mikey Y.
Oh, you know.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Mikey Y.
the
Why would
what?
you-
Mikey
The one with the
Iannetti.
eye.
Iannetti.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're
Yeah,
talking
no.
about the other
what?
one with the eye.
You know what?
Yeah.
No,
I
this
got
is
you.
you know what?
Yeah, I know.
Good
I
joke.
got you.
You know what?
Yeah. You know what?
He goes. He goes. That guy's 70-30. Michael, what's that guy? 70-30, 70.
You know, and then I find, you know, it's kind of like weird that right after me and Carmine, you know, basically come to the conclusion that it's kind of strange the excuses he's making and how some of the things don't add up, just strictly from a content viewer's opinion, you know, and you know, from a person that was out there in the street and does know a little something about how things you know, what was going on during the 90s and the 2000s and even the 80s somewhat. You know, it's like, what was my fucking point?
That somebody else on another channel had the same opinions afterwards.
Okay, right. Well, so, and then all of a sudden, Sakali came out with his feelings towards Mikey, and basically, you know, said that he's an envious person and he's you know, not too good of a person. So, you know, obviously, I don't know exactly what's going on with those guys, but you know, he basically described a different person to everyone. You
Hey,
know,
Jersey girl.
there may be a lot of people saying like, no, Mikey, you know, he always tells the truth. He comes off as being truthful and you know, but you know, now you got Sakali saying that he's not always truthful and that he's kind of a backstabber and he's you know, he's an envious guy. Who's right or wrong, I don't know. And everything that I'm saying is my opinion. And you know, who likes it or don't like it, that's your problem.
Everybody's gonna have different opinions, you know that.
Yeah.
I got something. A question. This has to do with the show, and you guys, we're doing a Fugazi Friday. What do you guys think about it? Who's your favorite Fugazis
What, that have ever popped up in the genre?
that you cannot get enough of?
Can't get enough of?
Huh?
That you can't get enough of?
Hey,
Or like,
every time they say something it's funny, we could go at it all the time.
well,
oh my God, there's a lot of them.
Let's explain why this animosity is going on with Jeff Nadeau. Okay, this all started because Jeff Nadeau said he believed that Gene Gotti was the underboss and that he was still active and he was telling guys what to do and what not to do. And me and Common Sense disagreed with him. So because we disagreed with him, he started with his little cute subliminal messages on his show, and with all of that sneaky little nonsense. And that's why me, Carmen, and Frankie, just about had it with this guy, because he's basically, a weasel.
The minimal shit. Yes, and I mean, he
I just,
said
I can't stand that shit. If you gotta say somebody's name, put somebody's name on it, don't do that backhanded little comments and little digs and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's the thing I don't like.
I just don't.
I mean, I don't know how
And
you
then,
feel, but
and he's a liar also, because then after we disagreed with him, he went on his show and he said that it was strictly his opinion that Gene Gotti was underboss or concierge. I forgot exactly what it was. But meanwhile, while me and Carmen were talking about it on Gunsmoke show, he was texting me telling me that he knew for a fact. It wasn't his
well,
opinion. He knew for a fact.
and
He was trying to get me to stop disagreeing with the theory, because I was basically disagreeing with Bernstein.
well, and to make matters worse, if you guys don't remember, and I know you guys probably want to change the subject after this, but just to clarify this, if you remember, about a week or so later, after we had that discussion, he went on his show and he did this whole expose thing where he says that he's done all the research and he's the most informed person on here that has all this information and looks up everything for himself. And he read through all these things and jailhouse phone calls that Gene Gotti had with two other guys, and one guy got indicted for it down the road, and this proves all this stuff. Well, he's claiming that he does all this research and does all this investigation, and what do we find out like 2-3 days later? Everything that he did on that show was literally an article that was written by Jerry Capici on Gangland News from 2018, shortly before the time that Gene Gotti got released from prison. Okay,
Word for word.
and he took that article word for word and made a whole show about it and claimed that this was his research and his information, and he did all the homework on this, and this is why he's right and we were wrong. And he took everything from Jerry Capici's Gangland News article. I can send everybody the link for it if you want to see it. I mean, it's ridiculous. So that's what my problem is when somebody does something like that. That's just some weasel shit right there.
And if you disagree with what we're saying, Jeff, instead of being a little fucking weasel and throwing out subliminal messages, why don't you just come on Gunsmoke show and fucking prove us wrong?
there you go.
There you go.
Fair enough.
What better of an opportunity to come up and make us look stupid and make us look like we're liars and that we're wrong?
And tell me that you didn't take that whole show off of Jerry Capici's website and act like you investigated this yourself. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I think
you're just counting on people not having their own $5, $6 a month at Gangland or something and looking for it or something. I don't know what he was thinking, man. But he's accused other people of doing the same thing. If you guys don't remember, he used to accuse that other guy there, Honolulu, from taking Wikipedia articles or other articles and shit.
That's my favorite Fugazi, by the way, but I'm trying to stay away from it.
Well, I was trying to segue into Fugazi Fridays for you, but
yeah, that's my favorite. But
Fugazi Friday.
Brett got a good point. The guy's fucking a little bit ubach, so but fucking more. That's what it's about, Fugazi Fridays, no. But anyway, back to him. I don't even want to give him any more legs. We know what he's about, and that was it. You ever see me fucking break bad on this fucking kid? Never. He comes over here, wants to break bad on me. Fuck yourself, bro.
But who would I say was Ubats?
Ubach, the Honolulu.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to, because listen.
He gave me a fucking said something about you on my fucking show. What the fuck? I mean, why would he do that? Why would he do that?
About me?
Yeah, he said something. He made a comment about you. Look back at the comments after the show.
Yeah. I'll take a look back. There's a guy, Jeff Stilitsky or something. He said a comment about I did an interview with Jeff about Alphonse. Can you bring that up?
Let me find the comment.
I mean, everybody can.
John Sidlitsky. Howie had an interview with Jeff. How Alphonse had some girl do a BJ on him, and it was really grotesque.
What's the deal with that? I don't know what is he trying to say. Like I did something wrong, or
no.
No, it
Remember
was
when
true.
you did that interview with Nadu?
It was a true story,
Yeah,
Jeff. And Nadu actually got a phone call from
a lawyer.
Alphonse's lawyer
Yes.
to ask him to take it out.
Oh, is that right?
And
Okay.
and in Nadu's
Yes.
defense, he didn't take the whole thing out. He just took part of it out.
Yeah. That was true.
And he always used to bring it up too and throw little digs here and there too after that too.
Whatever's going on in his life, he needs to get it together. There's some things that are not going right in his life right now. He can't be going around fucking just throwing fucking shit at anybody, putting them down, anything. First of all, he's not built that way. Second of all, besides that, fuck that. All right, fuck that physical, whatever. He gets it wrong sometimes when he loses his mind. You understand? And that's what he needs to curb.
And I just want everyone to understand that might be confused and might be thinking, why are these guys attacking Jeff? You have no idea what's been going on behind the scenes. And this is just a buildup of what's been going on behind the scenes. This is not something that just happened today. So I understand that you might be confused, but I guess eventually, you'll get the whole picture.
Listen, if he was on the panel and somebody would have disrespected him, I would have told him the same thing. I've been on his fucking panels many a times. Never disrespect.
Well, why don't he come up now? You can come up now, Jeff, if you want to.
Fucking turn into a circus. Fuck him. He can't do that. No, and even people here on our chat, the people we respect come every week. We don't want them to be disrespected either. Disrespect your own people. Don't disrespect. And I never disrespect nobody. So on this show, so don't do that.
Well, we could have a normal conversation, but it's just he come in popping his head in for no reason, saying that he's disrespecting your channel. You know what I mean?
The boss of Lancaster, get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, common sense. I got something good for you. How about this? You like this?
Well, he's working his way up. Just a couple people he might wind up having to turn that into like a 22 or something. The way he's been acting lately.
Yeah,
that guy's nuts.
We'll get to Fugazi. How about that? Can we do Fugazi Friday? Actually, today in history, Abe Lincoln, 1865, on today's date, got his head blown off. That was on today's date.
What is it that you what do you mean by like Fugazi? Like, what do you want to talk about?
We picked the fuck
full of shit.
No, well, Frank wants to start we're gonna start a segment on the show Fugazi Friday. You know, all the fakes that come on YouTube, all these guys
held it together.
You know, the Romandis of the world,
like the Danny Trios and stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. All of the horse fuckers, as we call them.
Hold on, we got John Selinsky. Who do you like, Matt? Who's your favorite?
Yes, Gaslight and the Titanic today. Yeah.
The Titanic, 1908. What's that?
Today, I think it was 1912. The Titanic hit the iceberg on today's date.
I want to answer John Selinsky's question. Hey, how
there you go.
Your thoughts on Mike Rock getting captain position? I think it's Mike Rock deserves that position. I always thought Mike Rock was a class act, and he was nothing like Alphonse. And I think I think he deserves that position. He was always a bright guy. He was a down to earth guy. He never acted like he thought who the fuck he was. And total opposite of Alphonse. I'm glad that unfortunately he's probably going to get arrested again, but if that's what he wanted, I'm glad he got it.
Well,
you heard it here. You heard it here at 52 topics from the house there.
Seems to be what happens, right? Yeah.
Yeah, listen, if I see somebody saying that I don't believe is true, I'm going to challenge them on it. It's nothing personal, but if you're gonna put out information that has something to do with the people I grew up around and I disagree with you, I'm gonna challenge that. It's not, like I said, Mikey Scars could have been who's the new guy in the block? Joya.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frankie Joya. Yeah.
Frankie Joya. I don't know him either. He could have been him. I would have disagreed with him the same way. If Frankie would have said something that I thought was wrong, I would have told Frankie that I thought he.
And that don't happen much.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't happen.
Well,
I just
here's
want
the thing. Here's the thing too.
Go ahead.
The thing too is that, you know, you're on YouTube on a public platform where anybody can listen and watch and listen to your content. And then if somebody disagrees with it or calls you out on it, they throw a fucking fit. You know what I mean? But it's selective though, you know? It's like selective outrage. But they'll call other people out when they disagree or have something to say about it, but they get personally offended if you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what's happened with that kid. I hope he fixes it though.
No, I just mean in general. Like in general, I see people doing this all over the place.
He's all batty.
Listen,
I guess it's the
was he making slick comments on his show to us? Yes, he
No.
was.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
I'm talking about
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so he by him being a baby, he couldn't let dead dogs lie. He couldn't stand the fact that we may have been right and he was wrong. He had to keep it going. All right, the guy literally did a show and made a point of saying that this is strictly my opinion because he knew he was wrong at that point. So he turned it into his opinion. But what he forgot is that he texted me and told me that he knew for a fact. And he was trying to get me to change my opinion while I was on the show based on him telling me that he knew for a fact. But I don't go by, you know, you tell me that you know for a fact and I don't know how you know for a fact. That's not going to change my mind until you tell me why you know for a fact. And he never did that. What he did change it to was that it was his opinion. So he basically lied.
Well, then he changed it a week later when he read Jerry Capicci's article back to it being a fact and that he knows he's not wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Gaslight Studios, Howie, if you've answered this already, I profusely apologize. Do you think Bruno Indelicato has been named consigliere, or is that Scott Bernstein making shit up?
I don't really know anything that's going on with the Bonanno family at this.
The Genovese are the New York Knicks. That's Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
I said that's the same thing Howie said.
He's qualified for it, that's for sure.
And he might want it too, so you know, pedigree.
Yeah.
Anybody has questions, let us know, guys. Let us know.
Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions
coming. We want the questions coming. Even though you guys didn't tell me who your favorite Fugazi is.
Hey, comment.
Yeah.
Jeff, the reason why this all started with Jeff was because he made a comment saying that I said that he was one of the ones involved in this paying for the advertisement in the beginning, and he says that he wasn't, and he wanted to correct me on that. Now, don't you remember someone saying that he was one of the first ones?
Yeah, the Google AdSense thing, the promotion thing.
Yeah. Explain it the way you heard it.
Yeah, somebody I know that started a channel up was in contact with him and a couple other people, and they were basically saying that they were advised to start doing this Google AdSense promotion thing or whatever, where you pay to get your channel out there, and that they had told them about it and to do it. That's what they were doing basically. That's as far as I know it, and I'm one or two of them I know has come out and said that that's what they've been doing. So, I mean, what, the third one's lying?
Right. So I didn't make that up, Jeff. Maybe maybe you're trying to correct me and tell me that you never had any involvement in Google AdSense. But meanwhile, there's like 3 people that say that you were. Maybe you should contact them, not me.
Well, that's why I'm confused, because the person said it on. Well, that's why I'm confused too, because the person said it on YouTube. That's where I heard it on the show and in private. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I remember Lee Cole mentioning Jeff's name involved in a conversation with that.
Yeah. I thought it was like a known thing. That's what these guys were doing. I don't see anything wrong with that. I just don't understand what the big deal is. Like, so what? If you wanted to
Yeah.
pay to get your channel out there, what the fuck is the
No, I
big
mean,
deal? I don't get it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Obviously, the function exists because they want you to use it.
Yeah.
My whole thing was
it's
like
from Google. It's
yeah,
Google
my whole
owns it,
thing,
you know?
my whole thing was like you could kind of abuse it to a point where it looks fucking stupid. And I'm sorry, that's how I feel Dominic Cicali. That's what I feel like he's done. I mean,
I agree with it. Me and Howie kind of see things differently. I mean, I understand where he's coming from. I think he understands where I'm coming from. I just think it's kind of like a personal. This is the thing, right? Because I understand there's nothing wrong with it. And the bottom line is that Google obviously offers you it for a reason because they want you to build your channel. They're also making money off it, and then you get something out of it too because you're gaining, views, and your channel's getting put on the algorithm and getting more exposure. That's the whole point of being on here, right?
correct.
So I understand what you're saying, and I said this before too. Like, sure, if somebody gets 100,000 subscribers in 2 weeks, let's say, right? They just open up their channel. Obviously, everybody knows that channel did something in order to generate that amount of subscribers, correct?
Correct.
Because that's an anomaly, unless you went viral somehow on some big channel like Kai Sanat or one of these big Aiden Ross streamer guys or whatever, or Mr. B shouts you out. For the most part, a regular channel popping up, getting 100,000 subscribers, and even a year is insane, right? So when you're putting out videos, whether it's lives or regular videos, and the amount of views that you get is not in a correct ratio of what the average, subscriber to viewership is. I don't know what those numbers are. I'm not an analytics guy or, focus on any of that stuff. I'm sure you guys would know better than me. I don't know if it's 20%, 10%, 2%, or 50%. I mean, what do you think is a fair number?
For how many subs? For how many subs?
Just as a percentage. Like if somebody has 100,000 subs on average or 10,000, what's the usual ratio that you would get on a video or a live? 10%, 20%?
I mean, if you're sticking with the program and you're doing content that's consistent with your channel, and let's say you have I would say I don't know what the number is, but let's just say you have 100,000 subs. I mean, I think that you should be getting 30, 40,000 views a video.
So 30-40% of your sub count you should be turning over into views on average.
So let's put it this way. Right. When I do videos that my subscribers want to watch on my channel, which I don't always do, I sabotage myself because I just do what I think is fucking cool most of the time. But when I do the videos that I know my audience is gonna like, on NYC Spot, I have like 32,000 subscribers.
Yep.
My videos, when I put them out, some of them have 100,000, 70,000, whatever. But for me, 20, 25,000 is like, those are the videos, 20, 25,000 plus. Those are like the videos I know that people want me to make, right?
Yep.
So for me, that's a good measure. And I only have like 32,000 subs. And my point is like when you have 132 like Cicali and you're getting 4,000 views, that's 52 topics with Frank Fiordilino views.
Right. And that's and that's so this is what it is. I understand what you're saying. Huh?
Please, before I forget. We're not talking about necessarily views, okay? We're talking about subscriptions.
Right.
Okay, so now let's say on average your channel gets exposed to 100,000 people, Brett. Yeah. How many subscriptions would you think you might get out of that?
It depends. I mean, I could say from.
All right. I'm not going to ask you for.
No. I could say that some of my videos that have over 100,000 views, I probably got like 1,500 subs out of it.
Okay.
Real subs from 100,000 view video.
If you pay for Google AdSense, right, and you get exposed to 1 million people, how many subscribers do you expect to get out of being exposed to 1 million people?
15,000.
Yeah, maybe 15 or 20, maybe 15 or 20,000.
All that Google Sense is just having you pick a video out to be exposed to an unnatural amount of people that you would normally get exposed to.
Right.
And when they hit the subscribe button, they're hitting it. It's a real subscription. Whatever happens after that,
no, I know it's real. Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's not real.
The downside is the only thing is that and I understand what both you guys are saying, and I'm kind of on the side where I understand more what Brett's saying, because you're not really gonna know whether, basically you're not really gonna know if you're the advertisement you're paying for to get those people to click on your show is gonna pay off until 6 months down the road, and it shows up in your viewership. You know what I mean? Because if people are just clicking on it just to get a subscription, but they don't actually watch your videos on a regular basis or donate to your channel or nothing, you're basically just paying to get subscribers, and it's not really helping you get money, so to speak.
yeah,
It might
but
take a while to pay off. You know what I mean?
But if you're getting exposed to 1 million people and 100,000 people subscribe to your channel, aren't your chances of getting real subscriptions out of that higher than if you were exposed to 20,000 people?
Well, yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. It would just take a
Right.
while for you to get a return on your investment. That's all. So in the start, it might seem a little bit weird, but in 6 months from now, you could have 1 million real subs based off him being in the algorithm or having
Right.
that amount of people watching. You know what I mean?
Right.
And all
Listen.
we're really talking about here is you're paying a couple $100. A couple $100 to some people isn't nothing. It's a drop in a bucket. You know, they don't
Right.
care.
Listen,
They
in my
waste a
opinion,
couple
Sakali has put thousands of dollars into it.
That's fine if he's got it.
No, that's fine. I'm not saying there's
No.
anything wrong with it. And you made a good point before, Howie, because like if you have a big channel with a lot of subscribers, people, because this is the game, like when people just look at YouTube, they look at a channel and they say, "Oh wow, 130,000 subscribers." They might be more prone to do an interview with you. There is
course.
other opportunities that might pop up, but
it could also work against you as well, because the people that do, yeah,
3,000
Yeah.
subs and 4,000 views. So the visual
Right.
optics look a little funny. It's kind of just, it's
Yeah.
like when it's like when Snow White, they spend $350 million on a movie and they make 50 million at the box office. You know, I guess that's kind of a good analogy for it.
there's a lot of variables involved. You know, if you're trying to interview someone who's into all the analytics and is really trying to pick the best channel to do an interview for, you know, it could be work against you. Oh, this guy's got 200,000 subscribers, but he only gets 5,000 views a video. You know, then maybe he might think like, you know, something, you know, I don't want to do an interview with this guy. Then you might have the other guy that might just say like, oh shit, he's got 200,000 subscribers.
Exactly.
I'm going to give him.
It depends who it is.
Interview.
You're right. Yeah.
You know.
Well, we've seen that happen in this genre where people have come out of nowhere and shown up and said they had 100,000 subs and they were doing videos and they had 12 people fucking viewing them. You know.
Right. And like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Obviously, the function exists for you to use it. I'm not a hater. I think it's fine to do it. I just think that you can. I just think that you can abuse it, and I think Dom abuses it.
He's putting up his money, man.
Well, he is. Yeah, I mean, thousands of dollars, in my opinion.
Well,
probably thousands.
Isn't that the way it works in capitalism anyway? The people with all the money who can pay for all the advertisement are usually the biggest.
Of course.
What he wants. I mean, it is what it is. Fucking.
I'm not against it. I mean, I thought about selectively doing it. Yeah,
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and I can't disagree with what you're saying either. But I'm just saying, like, there's people out there trying to make like he's doing something for Gazy. You know what I'm saying? When he's not.
No. You know, there's nothing wrong with it.
If he's buying viewers, if he's buying actual views, that's fucked up. But if he goes out there and he pays 2,000 and he gets 100,000 subscribers from it, that's at least 100,000.
I pay for advertisement. That's all. The way I
no, yeah, you're just paying for it, and when you do it,
100,000 views. You understand?
And when you go into studio and you do it, they'll actually run the analytic for you. Let's say, all right, YouTube or Google, if I put $200 towards this video, what am I expected to get? And then Google will say, if you
look at it like that, yeah,
that's what they'll tell you. They're like, all right, we expect you to get 5 to 7.5 thousand extra views on this video, and that opens you up to this many people that might, you know, they do run that analytic for you. Or if you put $1,000, you know.
So Callie's probably the type of guy where like, okay, well, you're expected to get this amount for 200, and he's probably thinking, well, if I put 1,000, then I maybe can get 5 times that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's probably what he's doing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you have to remember too that this whole thing and this whole issue came about from a person that focused primarily on, you know, who was going to have more subscribers, you know, by a certain date on this time, and then all of a sudden got 20, 30,000 out of nowhere and hasn't done that shit since, you know? So, you know, you got to understand where it's coming from at the same time, and what the reason is behind it. If people are solely focused on whether or not your channel's successful by the number of subscribers you have, I mean, I don't really see the point, because that doesn't mean you're making money. Subscribers don't mean shit.
And this whole conversation is
It's the
only being
watch time and
started
everything, you know?
because Jeff Nadeau is being envious.
Big,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He started the
of that
conversation.
fucking guy.
He started the conversation with Takali
God
and
damn.
it was him.
Yeah.
Fuck him, man. Who gives a fuck about him?
Well,
we told him where to go, and that's it. It's over.
Yeah. So
Oh.
either way, yeah, I understand the whole subscriber thing.
Fish said he's a strunch.
True.
Fish said he's a strunch.
He calls him like he sees him.
He always plays it well. Yes, Matt.
No, Fish, there's no speculation. We know how it works. You go to the Google YouTube studio, you pick the video you want to promote. YouTube tells you, okay, the minimum that they say makes the most impact. At the minimum, they say $200. But you can put $50, you can put whatever you want. And based on the money that you enter into the studio, I've done it before, you could put $200, and they, like I just said, all right, well, if you put 200, we expect you to get this many more views on this video, and then it opens up to whatever audience. It's pretty simple. It's not rocket science.
Right.
Yeah. So see, I would say it would be a scam if it was like a tiered system where you know, Google or YouTube, whoever's running it, is telling you, hey, pay 200 and you'll get, you know, 2,000 subs. Pay 500 and you'll get 10,000 subs. Because then I'm going to say it would be a scam, because then you have to ask yourself, well, does Google have like a bank of like channels that pay X amount, and because you know how they do these things where you can, if you sign up for this, we'll pay you $1 a view, or do research or surveys, we'll pay you whatever. Yeah. Is it something where they have something set up with, you know, 2 million channels that say, hey, we'll pay you 99 cents if you subscribe to one of these 3 things, and they send it out to a block?
Yeah, no, it's not that. No, yeah. You see, it's not that.
Well, that's a good point, too, but that's a good
point. It's just, and it's an estimation.
That would be a different thing, you understand? Because if they were going to guarantee that this block of people subscribe to your channel, they're actually stealing money from content creators, because they know they're going to get a subscription. You think that what you paid for is working, but those are already allotted to 50 channels that pay for this crap. How do you know that person really clicked on your video and watched it and then subscribed? They didn't just click on it, subscribe, and they clicked off. You never see them again, because then they're just robbing people.
Yeah, no, and who knows? Maybe we'll find
they could
I'm
be
gonna
doing
do it.
that.
I'm going to do it right now on my phone, and I'll run it. Well, you guys keep talking, but I'll set it up and kind of
comment. Who knows? Maybe in a few years from now, we'll find out that Google is running a scam.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised with any of these people, because
I wouldn't either.
They'll be able to get away with it too, technically, because they said, hey, listen, we just told you if you gave us 500 X amount of subscribers, they did subscribe, but, you know, they never watched or clicked or ever donated $1 to your channel, and they got you for 5,000.
And remember, this whole conversation started because Jeff Nadeau said Sakali bought views.
Okay.
Right. Wait, views or subs or both?
Subs.
Oh, subs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Anybody out there have any questions for these gentlemen here? Come on, man. Let's do it.
They have a question?
No, I know. I'm looking for some questions. You guys can read out there or no? You want me to pick one out for you?
Okay, so with the promotion, right? So let me read it. So I just pulled it up. So I selected one of my videos in studio. It says, what's your main goal? Audience growth, video views, or website views? So let's say audience growth is our view. Is our main thing, right? So I'm gonna select a video from my channel, whatever, any video, or I'll select this one. So next, okay, next. Now they ask you what your budget is. So pick a number, guys. Pick any number. How much you want to throw towards a video?
300.
All right, so let's put $300 in. Okay.
Fish, yes.
So I'm gonna put $300 in here. And then let's see. Okay. So based on your total budget, you'll spend an average of $20 per day until you're so what they do is they do the promotion throughout the days, and that's how they split up your money that way, right? So based
Okay.
on your total budget, you'll spend an average of $20 per day until your selected day ends. So that's what, 10 days, right? 20? No, more than 10
Yeah.
days. So
15.
right, 15 days. So
Yeah.
estimated. So they're not even doing. They're doing estimated impressions, 21,000 to 110,000 estimated impressions, meaning potentially
what does that mean?
110,000. Potentially 110,000 people are going to be exposed to that video. Right. Your promotion performance will be optimized so your promotion may spend more on days when your video is likely to get more views, but for the selected duration, you won't pay more than the specified amount. A promotion impression is counted every time someone is shown your promotion. So every time your video is shown on somebody's screen, that's a promotion. Now, based on $300, they're saying that can happen at the most 110,000 times.
So do they have an option? Do they have an option that you can buy like viewers or watch time or anything like that? Because I've heard of people having shit like that too. Is that true?
Let me go back because there's another option. So because that one I did was audience growth. So all right, so video views. Get more views on your video you're promoting. Okay, let's go next. So we'll go next.
Yeah.
We'll go next. And then they have advanced targeting, like, oh, I want people in New York to see this shit. I don't care about anyone else, whatever. So on the $300 total budget, based on your total budget, you'll spend an average of $20 per day. We went over that. So you can get at $300, you can get an estimated 18,000 to 62,000 estimated views and 200 to 550,000 estimated impressions. So potentially 500,000 people are going to have that video show up on their screen on YouTube as like, hey, check this out. You should watch this. And then you might get 18 to 62,000 views. You see that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I guess we could probably argue, is that buying views? I don't know. It's a legit.
I would say, yeah, if they're putting it right in there for you to watch, you're not ever really clicking on it yourself. So that seems kind of,
Right. And that would at least seem to be the way to go if you want to make your money back, though, right? Because you can get that ad revenue. You can get that ad revenue. So
that's what I'm wondering. Like, yeah, if you're monetized because you want watch time and views, that's how you get paid, right?
Right. So in that sense, it would make sense because you would put money in and you would get money back. With Sakali, he's getting all these subs, but he's not making money because nobody's watching his videos. That's kind of my point. Now, if he was putting a bunch of money towards getting all these views, he'd be making his money back and then some, in my opinion. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't.
Well, that's what I was wondering before. That's why I was wondering if that was an option.
I would,
because that would make more sense.
I would imagine that the return on this type of advertisement, it takes a long time. You know, I mean,
yeah, you're just playing the math game, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube doesn't fucking pay regardless. I mean, it's really bad.
You know, just because the person happened to come across one of your shorts or something and hit subscribe, you know, you never know when the next time's going to be where they might watch another one, you know?
Right.
Well, yeah, you see that a lot with the people, like these guys are, I don't know if they were, it's kind of like a cheat code or whatever, but you've been hearing people talking about, you know, making shorts or whatever, like putting out a whole bunch of shorts, and that's how people are getting subs and shit like that.
Well, I'm that guy.
Well, but they're promoting them.
But yeah, well, this is the thing that I'm saying is that, you know, so if you get a whole bunch of subscribers based off the amount of shorts that you do, but they're not watching any of your long form content, which is where you're actually getting paid from your videos, where people are watching for, you know, 20 minutes and the advertisements are up and et cetera, because they're not on shorts, you know?
Yeah.
So is that really like, you know, the same thing? You know what I mean? Because what would be the difference in that case if it's not turning out into revenue, you know?
Right. And shorts don't pay either. So, but what they're doing is they're hacking into like the mindset of people right now, because a lot of people out there don't have attention spans. They only want to watch 1 or 2 minute shorts. So they're putting all that promo money into the shorts, which makes sense because it plays into, you know, the audience nowadays with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the whole purpose of doing shorts, right, is because most people don't want to watch a long video.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're more likely to click on your short, right?
Right.
So now this whole Google AdSense thing, the way people get to even see your videos is if they pop up in the algorithm and the suggestions.
Right.
And you know, so it's basically, you know, you're paying for more exposure. So I mean, it's all it's basic fucking math. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
really no
Yeah.
fucking science project or anything. You know.
Right.
It's like,
and it's real people subscribing, whereas like there's been channels that have, you know, they do these bot farm bullshit where they just put money in and it's like fake shit.
Yeah.
YouTube hates that. So this is like YouTube's way of circumventing that and letting you get away with, you know, actually having real people see your stuff instead of these fucking bots or whatever.
Hold on.
And that's just the way YouTube is. I mean, like I told you, I may have 200-300 channels that I subscribe to, and I don't even remember their names, and I don't even watch them. You know, but I did catch a video that interested me at one point, and I clicked on it. You know, and for the most part, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, I mean, it's hard to get people to constantly watch. You can't watch every single channel's videos every day. It's impossible.
Well, I'm going to try it soon. I'm going to try it on Crime Spot, and we'll report back. We'll see.
And I believe if you have quality, well, you do have quality videos, and I believe you're going to get a good response from it, and I believe that you're going to get people wanting to see more, and you're going to get something out of it. You know?
Yeah, the only way I could see doing it is if it, and I feel, listen, it's just I feel weird even saying it or doing it, but the only way I see to make sense to make your money back is to do it by buying the views, because growing the audience is, I don't know if these people are going to end up actually watching the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, you can start off small. Like right now, you're getting subscribers off of the little bit of exposure that you do have naturally.
Right.
You know, if you get more exposure, you know, you're going to probably get more people watching your channel.
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, it all depends. And different videos make different money.
All of this shit originated from a guy who was envious that another guy hit 100,000 views before he did. That's how this whole conversation started.
Oh yeah, no. It's becoming ridiculous with that fucking jealousy.
Well, that's another thing that you brought up a good point, Howie, there too, because when you get 100,000, 173 people, by the way, please hit the like. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, guys, if you have questions, please ask.
When you get 100,000 subscribers, you get the 100,000 YouTube plaque. So I want to see when Sagali's is going to come.
Yeah,
that's going to answer a question too. Because you know he's going to show everybody his plaque.
Yeah, like, you know, a lot of these people, they don't understand. Like, you may be able to pull the wool over most people's eyes, but you're not going to pull the wool over our eyes. We know exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're saying, what your subliminals. So either cut the shit or take your mustard like a man.
I wonder who that went to, right?
Patrick Terrence, when's the next Crime Spot video? Actually, pretty soon. It actually might have to do with Sakali, my next video, Patrick. But thank you. Howie, have you considered starting your own channel?
Yeah, he did.
I used to, but you know, I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't know. I just don't know if I have the patience for this. You know, plus I also, you know, I do have a real job. You know, I'm on a leave of absence right now, but eventually I'm gonna have to go back.
Not a shitty one like mine, but thanks.
You know, so I don't know. I've thought about it 100 times and have thought in my mind, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then I just never do it. You know, I was even going to do a channel with Carmine, and I just decided not to. Not for any reason other than I just don't want to make it into a job, you know.
Oh, look who's in the house.
Legitimate money.
I see a lot of Jersey Girl. You're welcome, Jersey Girl.
Mobster in the house. Yo, Tom, I saw the that's what I forgot. I saw some video the other day, and the woman in it goes, "Basta!" She's like screaming. I wanted to save it for the channel. I forgot. What's up, Tom? You back from Italy? Looks like you had a good time.
You know what? I'm pissed off these fucking people that know I'm on fucking podcast and keep fucking
texting you.
Me. Yeah.
I want to answer John's question. He asked me twice already. Who was the toughest guy in my crew first and the toughest guy in my neighborhood? I'm probably going to give you a name that you never heard of. His name was Paul McDonald. He was considered the toughest guy in the neighborhood and maybe at one point, like in all of New York.
What's the
Yeah, he's
name?
the one that got into it with Carmine.
Yeah, he broke Carmine Agnello's jaw with a smack.
Damn.
It's some bear paws.
His name is Paul
Yeah.
McDonald. Him and the Marinos, Vinny Marino, Angelo and Patty, they own Metro Auto Salvage on Metropolitan Avenue
Okay.
by like Ridgewood over there.
Yeah, I know what that was. I didn't know that was them. That was always rumored to be around people with the Gaudis, you know. So you know.
Yeah, Paulie was like him amongst other people was one of my mentors when I was a young kid. One of my idols when I was younger, and he was one of JoJo's favorites also. And yeah, he was just a tough motherfucker with his hands, and he shot somebody back when he was younger, but he was known mostly for his hands.
Okay,
Pat Cogni making me jealous. Yeah, Tom, Milan. Tom, when you were in Milan, did you go to the what the hell's the name of it? The skull, San Bernardino Alioso or something, the skull sanctuary over there? Pretty crazy.
Thank you, Chris Capello, for the $20. Thank you, my man.
What's up, Chris Capello?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Happy Jack McKenna. He wants to know, what does Howie think of John Panisi? Oh, you didn't.
I don't really know John Panisi. I mean, I was friends with I was friends with his friend, his good friend Mike the Boxer, right around the time before they got arrested for the murder.
Okay.
And I remember seeing John come around like once or twice to meet Mike the Boxer, but I never really got to know him. So, and then he got locked up. So no, I really don't know him.
Oh, he sees dead people.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, his house shook. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the guy had a religious moment. You know, he probably was feeling really fucked up in the head at the time, and you know, like if he feels like his grandmother or someone was sending him a message, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I wouldn't make.
Hey, listen, man, I've gotten some messages that have saved my ass, man. So I can't call him completely crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it might sound crazy, but he might actually believe that happened. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not. Listen. I'm throwing. This is the channel. We throw a couple jokes now and then.
No, I'm not.
No, that's not fair. Okay, what the hell?
No,
I'm just giving my 2 cents. That's all.
And we've done that, us three, everywhere. We like to fuck.
Yeah, of course.
No.
I mean, yeah. There's been, you know, plenty times like in my life, and I'm sure in everybody's life, where
at a moment,
like, you felt like you experienced a miracle, like how you survived or how
forget about
happened to you. You know.
Mm-hmm. So many times, man, many times.
Yeah, usually you keep it to yourself.
Oh
well, because if you come on here and tell people, they're gonna start making fucking fun of you. You know,
right. Like Matt says, and I mean, I wouldn't publicly state that because of how it sounds, but yeah, I agree too.
Oh, Matt, yeah, good shit, Matt. That's funny.
You know?
You can definitely come off as crazy, even though you're perfectly sane. You know,
there's a lot of people asking good questions, but that fucking chat is flying right past my face.
Yeah, it's fine. Tom, yeah, I went to the Domo too. So I went on the roof. That was nice. I want to go back soon.
What's that? Oh, in Italy?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Tolomeo, please. You have no idea. Oh, I don't know. He's talking to someone else.
So Jersey Girl said she enjoyed the Robert Borelli video that I.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Smoked.
Yeah,
really good.
But he said,
where was that?
He's strapped up to his chest.
Him and Anthony Ruggiano did a sit down with each other.
That's an angle guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really good. I thought it was good.
Wait. Him and who?
Anthony
Ruggiano.
I would be on the Mediterranean right now, sitting back, having someone put grapes in my mouth, and we know who that would be.
Yeah.
If I had,
it was good. I thought it was really good, actually.
Oh, nobody.
You can tell they go back and had a long, relationship. Relationship for a while. By the way, they converse,
If I had their money, legitimate money, I would
What's
be on
that,
the
Frank?
Mediterranean right
plus,
now.
I knew a lot of the guys they were talking about, so I found it extra.
These guys don't hear nothing.
What'd you say, Frankie?
Listen to this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
sitting back. If I had that money, legitimate money, I
What
would
is
be
it? I
on
don't
the
hear nothing.
Mediterranean right now, sitting back, having someone put grapes in my mouth, and we know who that would be.
Who was that?
What? I don't hear anything.
We didn't hear anything.
There was
Oh,
nothing playing.
that was
Read
a soundbite we
Oh,
had.
you don't hear that?
No.
No, I didn't hear
All
nothing.
right, hold on.
If I had that money, legitimate money, I would be on the Mediterranean right
All we
now,
heard was
sitting
Brett's
back,
cat
having
purr.
someone put grapes in my mouth, and we know who that would be.
Grapes in his mouth.
I can't hear anything. I don't know
I
if you
guess
played it
can't-
or
ah,
we're waiting
whatever. I
for it
guess
or
you
what.
can't hear it.
What is
It's
it?
all good. It's all good.
It's
What
No,
is
it's a Reggiano audio that I have on the show.
Oh,
It's
no, I can't hear it, man.
Yeah, I asked the chat. I don't even think they're hearing it either.
Oh,
I heard it.
wow.
You heard it, Frankie?
Yeah, of course.
Did people in the chat hear it? I didn't hear anything, man.
You heard Reggiano. Did you guys hear Reggiano on the
Yeah,
chat?
they're laughing. Yeah, they heard it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What the fuck?
Yeah, how come
I
we
don't,
can't
I don't
hear
know.
it? It was
We can't hear
up
nothing.
All right. Hold on. Everybody silent. Silence right now.
Yeah.
Everybody silent. I'm gonna play right now.
If I had that money, legitimate money, I would be on the Mediterranean right now, sitting back, having someone put grapes in my mouth.
I can't hear
We
it.
know who that
I
would be.
know what I think is happening. Is this like a voice clip or a video clip?
No, it's an audio clip. Yeah.
That's why, because when it's a video, we can see that it's on mute and unmuted. But you're doing an audio, so we can't see that.
Oh, okay. Tom heard it.
The
Tom
people
heard
in the
it.
chat
And
said
we-
that they can hear it, and I can't
And
hear
we
it.
still don't know who that would be.
I
We
couldn't
still
hear it
don't
either.
know who that
Big
would be.
Lou, say hi to some of the people out here.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us what it said then? Because I
It
don't
says
know. I'm
about,
lost.
it was a Reggiano clip. He's talking about. I think he's talking about. I don't know. I think it was an indictment or whatever. Some people. Oh, it was about the indictment with Garino and those guys getting in trouble. And
Yeah.
he goes, "If I had that money, I'd be on the Mediterranean right now, sitting back with somebody putting grapes in my mouth." And we know who that would be,
Oh.
but we still don't know who that would be. I don't know.
Well, I hope it was someone female.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Maybe
Oh,
it
it
was
was a
somebody
woman.
from It might have been somebody from Roosevelt Avenue, maybe.
MRA.
It was Angel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Angel giving him some grapes.
Yeah, grapes. Some grapes and some crepes in the Mediterranean.
So yeah, that's the.
Yeah, John. I wish I could.
I'm
answer
joking,
all your
obviously.
questions, but this ain't. I'm not the only guy on the show. Sorry, buddy.
What's
What
that?
was the
Go ahead,
question?
answer it.
Howie,
no,
wasn't
no,
Tony M a liaison between Italy and his faction?
If you're talking about which Tony
Muscatello?
the older one or the younger one? 'Cause
I think he's talking about the older one.
the younger one was the liaison to fucking White Castle. That was it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the older one.
Probably.
Rock
The younger one
solid.
don't make sense.
Yeah, I some people because they're gonna hate me.
Rock
What-
solid, my man. What's going on?
Girl
Rock
said,
solid?
"We got any questions? I'll relay them." Rock solid just at the David Price. What's up, my man? Michael, hey Frank, I went to Avanti's on Bell Boulevard one night. They wouldn't let no one in from Ridgewood. They said some guy from Ridgewood trashed the place.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
They got Frankie's picture on the wall now.
Yeah.
I saw the second one, Frank. I got to go back and watch the first one with the Ridgewood shit.
Oh, did you? Yeah, the second one is
Mostly
second
Roosevelt Avenue. Yeah.
Roosevelt Avenue. What we used to do on nights when I mean, you can relate to this. What we used to do on nights off. It's gonna get a lot better. We're just starting. It's a 30-minute every week, but it's gonna get better.
Hey, listen.
What's that? What's that, Frank?
Our weekly the weeklies that we do on the Ridgewood stories. Basically, what leads up to the Giannini crew and whatever comes out of that.
Yeah, gotcha.
We'll get to meet everybody and how
Have
they.
any of you guys ever heard of suppli? It's the Roman version of Sicilian rice balls. What is that? The ones that look like fucking traffic cones? Those little pointy ones? I'm not sure. Anybody? Suppli? Supli?
Supli? I've heard of suplis, but I don't know what they're referring to though.
What were you saying, Hal?
The triangle shape, like skull looking ones.
I don't know if it's those different shaped ones. I'm not sure. I remember
Yeah,
when
that's
I was.
what I think he's talking about. They look like volcano. Yes. They look like volcano. I think they were named after a mountain over there, the volcano
Nice.
mountains.
I have seen him. You know, I went into a place. I think
it's pronounced differently though.
It might have been in Milan, and I went to the counter, and they had fucking rice balls up to the fucking ceiling. They had hundreds of thousands of rice balls. I thought I was in heaven, and I came in, they were all fake. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It was a display. There was like 200 fake rice balls. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I love rice balls.
Yeah, arancini.
I love them. That's the only Sicilian rice dish. There is none after that one.
You ever had the shrimp balls?
Shrimp balls.
I've had those. Yeah.
What are they? No, all kidding aside, I never had shrimp balls. What are they, like a rice ball but with shrimp in it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's like
the arancinis with shrimp, like, you know.
Oh wow,
you bread them.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
kind of like a Chinese restaurant. You have shrimp toast.
You think
not exactly, not exactly like that.
They're like crab rangoons, man. But the
crab rangoons, yeah.
But like, how tasty could it possibly be? I mean, shrimp
delicious.
Doesn't have this powerful taste to it to begin
with.
You know?
Hey, come on.
Delicious, Al.
Basically, all the flavor is the rice and the cheese and the, you know, shit like that.
Oh, that should go right. This for
the
Howie.
garlic parmesan.
There's a good one for Howie.
Yeah. What was it say? Howie.
There's a pic of you in your old wearing suits, probably a Christmas party. Can you elaborate on that? Where and when?
that was the Christmas party, and I think it was the Christmas party before I cooperated.
Is that the one when you went off on a certain individual?
Yeah, that's when I was gonna fucking fight with Frank Giudice. Not Radici.
Yeah, Gigi. Yeah. He's a special one.
Hey, I remember you talking about Frank Giudice's brother, Anthony, the one who the girl killed.
Joe. His name was Joe.
Joe, right. Yeah. Joe Giudice, yeah. I remember he used to go.
Came this close with me, and I came out of a fucking place with a fucking butcher's knife. He came close, and nobody would have missed him.
Yeah, he used to always go by like Choices over there on Woodhaven Boulevard. Yeah, acting like a big shot.
He used to kiss everybody. It was like, you know how the bouncers hold the fucking tickets? He used to kiss everybody and count how many people he kissed.
Yeah, Bobby didn't like him too much. Well, he didn't like Frankie either.
No, I know that. Matter of fact, we'll get that episode.
You know what was funny is when I was yelling at Frank, and I took off my jacket, you know,
Princess,
to fight him right there where we were all standing. He's like, "Let's go to the bathroom."
What the fuck? Was it the high school motherfucker? The hell? Go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one. That was just his way of copping a plea.
No, he wanted to
find more time for people to break it up, you know?
Yeah. That's some shit. That's like some fucking middle school shit. Meet me in the bathroom.
Yeah, Vito was sizing him up one time at Juniper Valley. He had his kid with him. And I don't know what the fuck he did to both of them, that they were sizing him up for whatever fucking. And he had his kid. We pulled the kid out of the car and go, "Hey, V, look at my kid." You understand?
Yeah, he had a meeting with Vito, and when Vito showed up, he put the kid in his arms.
He gave it to Vito, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, just to make sure in case they were going there to do something.
Well, the kid's there, they're not doing nothing.
Maybe they wouldn't if the kid was there, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
173 people. Please hit the like. You're watching 52 Topics
Francis Fiordilino.
Francesco Fiordilino.
Francis Fiordilini.
Rob G.
Who the fuck dropped the ball there? What the fuck is going on?
His name is Francis.
I can't hear any of the shit.
I don't know.
You just played
I can't hear it. I can't hear it either. I don't know what the fuck they're playing.
Frank Fiordilini.
I'm starting to take this personal, fellas.
Fiordilini. Yes, his name is Francis.
That's Lee Cole fucking saying my name. You know how he butchers it? And then Loomis tried it too, but he just killed it altogether.
Oh, Fiordilini.
Laboni.
Francis.
Hey, remember when he said he was practicing it, and then he came on, he said he got it, and he still called you Fiordilini? It was hilarious.
Yeah, man. You know what? Whatever your name is.
Yeah, whatever the fuck your name. You know who I'm talking about, Frank.
Hey, Pasta Patate, I was actually Ernie Grillo. No, not Ernie. No, I'm confused now. Not Grillo. What was the other Ernie's name?
Muscatella, whatever.
No. The one who had just gotten out of prison. big drug dealer.
Ernesto, yeah,
Abamonte.
Abamonte.
Yeah, he was actually in that Christmas picture photo that
Oh, is that right?
talking about. Yeah, Ernie Grillo.
That's Ernie boy.
Yeah, Ernie boy Abamonte.
I feel like fucking a lot that had to do with
Heron.
Ernie Grillo getting shelved was because of what was going on with his wife.
What? Get some to drink.
With his wife? Oh, yeah, I got you. Well, yeah, because as soon as he got taken off the shelf shortly after he got passed away.
Yeah, because somebody had asked what was the reason why he got shelved, and I don't know the exact reason, but I know it had something to do with that probably.
Yeah, you can only guess.
Michael Blaine.
Ernie boy from Harlem, yeah.
Brett looks melted. Yo, chill. I'm not. Everyone thinks I'm high all the time.
He was a big junk dealer, man.
Yeah.
And he kept getting busted inside too for like setting up deals on the phone and shit like that. Like that's fucking stupid, but
yeah,
I never understood that.
They thought a lot of these guys thought they can speak code and they weren't going to understand what they were saying,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
that don't work with the feds. They'll turn anything into something,
I got yelled at one time for referring to. I was talking to a guy on the phone in Aldo's Pizzeria, and I said the word "thing," and Jojo yelled at me and said, "Don't say fucking thing." He said, "Say money if you're gonna say something."
They'll turn thing into anything.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, because they could take that as drugs. You understand?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what that means.
I got yelled at for talking period, but at least if I was gonna do that, to say money and not thing.
A close friend of mine got double digits just for setting up a phone call between two people because he knew what they were going to talk about, even though he had nothing to do with it. He just said, "Hey, I want to introduce you to him. Here's his number. Here's his number." Hung up the phone, and that was it. And he got fucking double digits for that.
Be a wine fucking thing.
Conspiracy.
A conspiracy. Yeah. Yeah.
John
and he had nothing to do. He had nothing to do with it besides knowing both the parties. That was all they. That's all they needed. That's fucked up, man.
John Salitsky, Howie, did Al's former crew give him a beating before they shelved him?
He got shelved while he was in prison.
Beat him back out. You know how they beat somebody in?
They probably would have. Well, I heard Mike Rockerfoot smacked him. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too. For Bobby, right?
Yeah, they were both in. They were both on the same.
Give me a second. Michael Lavasi, thank you for the $20.
Thank you.
They were in the same unit during the time where Al, where shit was going on, and Al spoke to the FBI agent and said something nasty to JoJo the lawyer, and I guess Al must have kept acting like in a bad way when they got to the floor, and probably realized that Bobby was fucking fuming, and I guess Bobby sent Al in there to crack him around into the room, the cell.
Throw away the keys.
Well, because also, Al basically said in not so many words that he was never involved in selling drugs. It was the rest of his guys, like Mike and whoever else.
The ones that were in that case together, he shouldn't have been charged with that. And then he made that stupid comment in court or whatever at a sentencing about taking his honor or whatever.
Right. And then he exchanged some words with an FBI agent.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it was, he shouldn't have been fucking even acknowledging the guy.
Guys, do you ever see the keys? The one where Proctor throws the keys?
Yeah.
Throw away the keys.
Throw away the keys.
I don't understand this shit.
What do you think? This is a fucking amateur show over here. What do you?
We're prepared.
Throw away the keys.
Pissed off before. That's going to be a fucking meme too. Now somebody's going to have it.
Stop the baloney, huh? Who?
Howie, if someone orders you to smack someone, are they allowed to fight back?
Sure, they are.
Okay.
Why would
I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like if they're a pussy, they won't fight back.
What's
Pasta
that?
Patate. $9.99 from Pasta Patate. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you.
Somebody's coming to smack me. I'm fighting back. No.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're not a made guy.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
the maid guy you gotta take.
Yeah.
He didn't.
But an
That's not the
associate or
question.
something, yeah. That's not the question, though. You
Block
just met
it.
an associate or
Block it.
somebody, yeah.
I never was in that fucking situation, but I know people that were, and they were tough guys too, but they fucked up and they got to take their licks. That's it.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to look at it like this: do I take this smack or this punch in the face, or do I fight back and then I get killed?
Yeah,
Right.
no two ways about it. It's you against 250 main guy and their associates. And bet your ass you're gonna get killed.
And that's probably what Johnny Boy Borelli was thinking when JoJo sent me outside to crack him.
Yeah, of course.
And he took off running.
I mean, somebody asked me that. You ever got cracked by a maid guy? I said no, not thinking. And then my uncle fucking cracked me a couple of fucking times.
Oh, I got cracked by fucking JoJo. He knocked my tooth out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember you told me about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you fuck when you stabbed that guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the question. But what was the question again? Read it again, Brett.
It was from Dagosta. He says, Howie, if somebody made orders you to smack someone, are they allowed to fight back? I guess he's thinking.
I guess if
JoJo sent you out to smack somebody up, knowing it was from JoJo. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they would have to know though, right?
Technically, they can fight back, because I'm not a made guy.
Yeah,
they can just say that they didn't know that JoJo was sending me to do it,
Right.
But if they
because then it will be an insult,
Right.
Anytime a associate is being sent by a maid guy, there's usually 3 or 4 guys with them. So it's a
Frank,
mess,
SBK says, but Frank, why not just smack the maid guy back? Yeah, why don't you just smack your uncle back? I mean, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, right.
Give Cheech a little.
God damn. I would give him a nudge. Looking back, no.
Yeah, you see how fast everybody will turn on you if you fucking do something like that.
You can't. Even my fucking shithead brother, he fought with him, but he was the oldest, so I couldn't hit him back just because of that. And he wasn't made or not like that. One time I knocked him on his ass, and he threw a fucking alarm clock at me.
Nice.
Any JR Rubio? Anybody run-ins?
I pushed him out of my way.
With who?
Any run-ins with JR Rubio? John, was that John Rubio?
No. John Rubio. No,
but
he was a Genovese guy.
Yeah, he was recording my future in-law's neighbor. Frank, I think Frank knows who that is.
Yeah,
I remember.
Sorry,
Bobby told me you never let anybody take your manhood away from you by smacking you. You never.
Yeah, that's the worst. Smack, dude. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, smack's probably the worst thing.
Yeah.
What does that new guy? What's his name? Barone or whatever? Does he know that Rubio? Is that the same case, or is that different? Those guys know each other? Do you know or no?
The guy Barone, I think, is a Genovese guy. No.
I don't know if he was with. That was
Rubio was too. Rubio was too, though.
That was in 2016, right? That was that indictment with those guys.
Barone was.
No, that one with Rubio, with
Rubio,
with Patsy Perello and Joey Merlino and them, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't know if Barone was with that. I'm not sure.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know each other in the street.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Tons of guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of guys.
SPK says Barone is banana. Oh.
I've never.
Oh, Barone was a banana guy.
You might be right.
But there's a problem. I mean, I'm sure there's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how we know Don then.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Gotcha. That makes more. That makes more sense now.
I never knew Barone on the street either, so I don't.
Yeah.
Generally, he was at first. Okay, and then bananas later.
Pat Cogney says Hootie reigns over Ozone Park with an iron fist.
You got that right.
Yeah. Dual Sicilian.
The dual Sicilian. He said.
Dual Sicilian.
I'm a dual. He's another guy who talks sports analogies with the mob. It was the Mecca. Howard Beach was the Mecca of all the mob. All the mob family was there. It's like the Mecca of fucking MSG.
Wasn't Barone the Genovese guy?
Yeah,
it was at the one time they had. It was true.
Yeah, I thought Barone started out with the Genovese, but I don't know he was. But that makes sense why he knows Dom then.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Maybe with them after.
What's his thing? Like his father was with them and he got killed or something, or was that?
Possibly. That's what I thought. I remember, but I could be off. Somebody might in the chat might know better.
He's got some type of link to the Genovese, but
Gigabyte Son. What's Gigabyte Son, Tom? Oh, Gigante Son. I'm like reading a Gigabyte Son.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
His dad, his father was a Genovese.
Yeah, Joe,
he might have
he's
got
got his
murdered
own.
or something. Something happened.
He's got his own show now, right?
Yeah, Goodfellow podcast or something.
Goodfellow podcast or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it popped up in my feed. He did an interview. It was actually pretty good. He did one with Casmin. Casmin come on. They did like a recorded or live or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen they're doing an upcoming one, another one. I think
Yeah, I like.
He seems like a decent guy though.
I like him, but I just can't watch every fucking show that's out there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. A lot of content. Yeah.
Barone's from New Rochelle. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah.
New Rochelle, yeah, that's where he's from. Yeah. Oh, okay.
But plus a lot of the, I'm more interested like in the stories and interviews that have to do with people that I know about. Like everything else is just generic to me, basic generic things that happened in every family,
Guys, listen, you guys could stay. I gotta go in a little bit.
Okay.
You stay for a little bit. You hold this together, bro.
You gotta go?
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right.
I was supposed to be somewhere at 9, but you guys are surprised. I gotta go. No, you guys could stay. I could just clock me out.
Why don't you stay on for 10? Stay on for 10 minutes till 9:30.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll do 2.5 hours clean.
Let's do it.
All right.
You got 174 people. Please hit the like.
People, holy shit! You guys brought it. That's more than we usually get. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a good show so far. Good show.
They were always like 160 or 174. I think did we ever reach 200?
I think we have before. Yeah, not today. Mob MOB says, Howie, when did you realize when someone spotted you meeting with an agent?
When I saw him looking at us.
There you go.
She just laughed at that.
And then the phone call later?
Yeah. Then he tried calling me on the phone.
Hey,
that might have done it.
Yeah, that might have done it.
Oh, I'm not skipping, dude. I mean, for every question, Mob, there's like 15 non-questions. So
you know what's crazy? You think when you think of wires, you think of fucking guy wearing a wire back in the day. Like fucking,
yeah.
We had a Yankee fucking jersey with a button that had a wire on it.
Well,
you'll never find the new ones.
In one of the instances, right, they wanted me to go into Bobby's Cafe and videotape the back room with all the machines.
Right.
So they gave me this fucking Yankee shirt with a camera on one of the buttons. It looked like it was from
like big as hell.
1962 or something.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, you're
gonna get me killed.
I said, you're lucky there's nobody there at that time. Otherwise, I would wear this thing in there.
Yeah. You wind up getting killed, man. Let's see that in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
One of those big black ones. It was like a fucking like a Tetris piece or something.
I also laugh when these guys start saying, "Oh, this guy wore a wire." You got to understand, okay? If you're locked up in jail, you can't wear a wire. If you're out on bail or you're out in the street, you're gonna wear that wire.
Oh, you're not gonna get a deal, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So all those guys say, "Oh, I never wore a wire." That's because you were in fucking jail.
Yeah, you went out on the streets when it happened, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Even guys in there wind up wearing fucking wires if they need to. True. You know, if look at Messina and a couple other guys, they want to wear them inside the fucking prison.
What are you gonna?
You might not have a choice. What are you gonna say? No, I'm not gonna do it.
No.
All right, no fucking deal then. Have fun doing life. Frankie?
Yeah, no, he fucking blew trial. He would have wore anything up his ass.
Hey, what is fucking Tom trying to be funny?
What do you say?
Calling me Bowie?
Oh no, he's been doing a lot of typos today. He called Gigante a gigabyte, so I think he's just.
I'm only fucking around. I'm only fucking.
Good night.
Bowie. Oh, it's Bowie or Bowie.
You better learn how to type right, motherfucker.
Pasta.
And 2 T's and Brett, Tom. So now I'm fucking mad.
And make sure
But
you say
yeah,
hello.
Tom, have a good night, Tom. I actually want to ask you something. I'm gonna text you or hit you up tomorrow or text you tomorrow if you don't mind. I want to ask you something.
Hey, Howie, did everybody say hello today or no? We got a list going or no?
Yeah, they
All
said
right.
hello. Yeah.
All right, good.
Hold on.
There's no names on the list
Put me
then.
on mute
No.
when I say so, and then I'll come back on.
There's only one name on the list right now.
Maybe two.
Maybe two.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I'm kind of not to beat the same fucking horse, but I'm kind of like surprised at him. Yeah, that's not cool.
With what?
You're disrespecting your show.
I'm not surprised. Actually, I'm not because
I came on to talk about getting robbed in Roosevelt Avenue, and this guy's trying to call me a liar by setting the record straight. But meanwhile, it was 3 other people that said it. That's where I heard it.
No,
Happy Jack McKenna.
Yeah, what do you think I blew my fucking gasket?
It's
Happy
all right.
Jack says, Howie, did you ever deal with any Philly guys back in the day?
No.
All right.
Yeah, you play with fire, you get burnt.
Then he said something after, like, fuck you, who are you? Bro, I'll squeeze the fucking shit out of your fucking ears.
He said, fuck
you.
you.
He said
to me?
You're like, who are you?
Yeah,
like,
he said he'll keep his name out of his fucking mouth, too.
Got slapped by fucking some 8th grader.
He said
you better keep his name out of your fucking mouth.
Crumb Bum of the week.
DL says who's DL wants to be the Crumb Bum. He was the first Crumb Bum of the week ever, I think, DL.
I don't know if he said it to Frankie or he said it to me.
Said what, Howie?
I don't know. You said you guys are
No. He broke
No. Hold on. He said, Howie, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. That's what he said to you.
He said, thank you.
Oh, okay.
And
that's what he said in the chat.
And he said something like, who the fuck are you? He hangs out with a couple of people and he thinks he fucking, he goes
Jeff,
over there.
Be careful what you fucking say, Jeff. You shouldn't throw rocks in glass houses when you fucking, you're feeling down one day and you confide in somebody, or, you think they're your best friend and you tell them things that you would never want anyone to hear about. So be careful how you talk to people, Jeff.
He don't give a fuck. Not that he don't give a fuck. He doesn't realize how he offends people because he's just something wrong with him.
He might be autistic or something.
You're lucky your fucking name is in my mouth.
True. Fair enough.
All right.
You're a real crumb bum. You're a crumb bum. A real crumb bum.
There you go, Frank. Just for you. Just for you, Frank.
Well, he's the Crumb Bum of the fucking week.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess maybe Jeff wants us to make a project out of him. I don't think he's gonna like that too much.
I don't know.
Hey, was that thing that I got text before about something that lady said true, or was that behind the scenes something they said? How?
What happened?
The message you sent.
Says I'm a clown.
The message what?
You sent me a message saying that the woman said something about this other guy was doing something. Was that on air? Or was in private? That came out.
I don't know.
The text you sent me last night. Hey, check your text real quick. You sent me last night.
The gust is funny.
What do you got? 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. We'll head out. 170 people. Please hit the like before we end.
Yeah. Angel said that Jeff told Angel that Louis Cascin was blackmailing him about the nut house incident.
Yeah. She said that?
Yeah, she said that, Angel, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my God.
He put him in there, too.
Jeffrey.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because Cascin talked about it and spoke about it on multiple channels before. So I don't know how good of extorting blackmail you can do when you're telling everybody about it in public.
Jeffrey, if I were you, I'd keep your mouth shut and apologize for acting like an asshole to begin with.
Yeah, because nobody put it in your ass ever, motherfucker.
Because all we did was disagree with you, and you decided you couldn't live with that.
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah. Nah, fuck that. Even if we don't, I don't give a fuck. Who's got to lose?
Bobby Fingers, what's up, man? It's been a minute. How you doing, buddy?
People are crazy, man. But hey, listen, guys, thanks for having me on. I know Frankie's got to jump. Have a good dinner.
Have a good night, Carmen.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hal, give me a buzz when you're done. You get a second, guys. Everybody in the chat, thanks guys for being here. Take care, folks.
Have a good night, Tom.
Hey, before you guys
Ciao, bro.
sign
Later,
off,
man.
play the Jeffrey Pate video. That's Jeff Nadeau.
Which video is that?
Lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle. Jeffrey Pate.
Oh,
Jeffrey Pate.
Who Jeffrey Pate? Hold on. Somebody said something, and I just want to let people know. Oh, that's not that the wrong person. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was what was his name?
Hey, Jeff, if I don't
before.
keep, I want to know if I don't keep your name out of my mouth, what are you gonna do about it? That's what I want to know.
He's gonna do nothing. You know what? Because he feels fucking protected or something, or he feels that he's good where he is.
Well, I hope he doesn't think that fucking skinny guy's gonna protect him.
Don't start that because he's gonna use that as a fucking excuse.
Oh, okay.
No. It's him. He's the one who talks that way. He's got to pay for that. He's responsible for what comes out of his mouth, not other people.
True, and I'm also responsible for what comes out of my mouth.
Don't worry about it.
He's
Nobody's gonna protect him anyway. Who's going to protect him?
Yeah.
Even if they did, what's the big of it? It's him. It's him talking the shit, not anybody else.
True. Yeah. The other guy doesn't deserve anything.
No. Because that's what he wants. He wants that. He's going to say, he's going to go back over there and go, because that's the fucking scandalous little prick he is. You understand?
Yeah.
He's going to go over there and say, you know what? They told me the only reason they want fucking with me is because I'm fucking with you. That's not true.
Yeah. Just hey, listen. You want to be
him? That's
my advice to him is to fucking
apologize
and apologize.
That's it. All right, guys. All
right, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody have a good night. Thank you, Howie. Thank you, Carmen.
Good night.
Good night, Frankie.
Good night, everyone in the chat.
Good night, Howie. Thanks for contributing. Thanks for hanging out.
Howie, good one. A good show. It was a good show.
Good show.
Which we don't like, but you know what? Sometimes it happens, and we didn't bring it. We didn't ask for that shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
I considered the kid a friend of mine one time. He has to do the right thing. I don't go on his fucking show and bust balls, okay?
What is this fucking troll? What is this? Look at that. Look at this fucking picture.
I like it.
Look at this fucking. You know what? Before we go,
I like that
fucking, you're getting wasted. This guy's getting wasted tonight.
Ooh.
You're fucking whacked. You're wasted.
Thank you, Carm. That's a good pic.
You're
wasted. I was 20 years old there. That's a good picture.
Frank was an Adonis. Yeah, I like the shape up or the tape up, whatever you want to call that thing.
Thank you, Carm.
It looks like they took a Nintendo cartridge to your forehead.
That shit. I was skinny as shit. All right, guys.
All right. Listen, everybody have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. We had about 180 something people at most. We really appreciate you. Please, if you stop by tonight, you're still here, you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you haven't seen our last upload for Ridgewood, A True Story, episode 2, this is the thumbnail here. Please go check it out. We'll see you all soon. We are recording some more episodes this week. Thank you to the great, powerful, amazing Roro for being a moderator.
We love you.
And thank you, Charles, Fish, David Price, everybody.
Have a
tremendous night.
Good night. We'll probably be back Wednesday, right?